Welcome, everybody. We're here at Moorpark for the webcast. Thank you for all joining us. And I'm Nathan Espinosa alongside Ryan Ketchum, Emery Johnson. We're going to be broadcasting the game for you. I'll be doing color play-by-play. We'll be doing color analyst Ryan Ketchum. And we'll have sideline reporter down on the field, Emery Johnson. We're here today to provide you with Moorpark College football against Long Beach City. We expect a big game. What are some of the points you want to look forward to? This game's going to be presented to you by the National Guard.
Well, I'm focusing a lot on Long Beach. Long Beach, they have a great team. They actually have probably the biggest offensive line in our league. They look like NFL players out there. They protect the quarterback very well. That's Jake Meyer. Jake Meyer actually has thrown 676 yards and 6 touchdowns in this is actually the third game, so only 2 games he has played, and he's already putting up those numbers. That is just big time right there.
Yes, yeah. We expect big things to see out of him. Hopefully these Raiders can keep him toned down a little bit. How about you, Emery? What are you looking forward to today?
I definitely have to say, I'm looking forward to this defensive-offensive matchup, especially Moorpark College. Last week we watched Moorpark College compete almost every single series against El Camino, offense to defense. And I would have to say that, our 2 guys to watch, it was James Perryman and Jordan Flack, and they executed. I mean, they were the only guys that you could really definitively say executed every single series. So I'll be interested to see what the overall effect will be against a Long Beach City College that is coming off a loss to Saddleback College last week. After a close game, They put up 24 points in the first quarter and then continued to give or only score 3 points a quarter there on out, and Saddleback came back and won. I think it'll be very interesting to see how the Raiders defense will counter that offensive power. Like you said, 600 some odd yards, 700 total in the season. Now the real question that I have is, how will the Moorpark offense function? Nathan, I'm going to send that to you because you were working color last week. What do you think about that?
Last week they showed a lot of resilience. I'm expecting them to bring it up another notch, kind of hold on. One of the things that I think carried them through last week was resilience. They were able to keep pounding and pounding and pounding the ball, play after play, even when it didn't look pretty in the beginning. And it almost took them to a win. We were 17 seconds away and about 10 yards from a touchdown and upsetting El Camino. So I expect Moorpark to be resilient. It seemed that's what wore down Long Beach last time, was just wearing them down is what got them a loss last week. So if Moorpark can wear them down, maybe they can walk away with the win and avoid being two lost Joe in a week. And I know that they're not going to want to go home with a loss either, Long Beach, that is. So we'll see how it goes when we get out on the field. All right. Again, this game is presented to you by National Guard. What it takes, mind, body, and grit. We'll be presented to you with a couple of our sponsors coming up right now. I'm Nathan Espinosa, alongside Ryan Ketchum and Emery Johnson.
Cigars, tobacco chewing, e-cigarettes, or any vapor devices. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding.
Welcome, everybody. My name's Nathan Espinosa alongside Ryan Ketchum. We're here in beautiful Moorpark at the Griffith Stadium. We're here to catch the Moorpark Raiders playing the Long Beach City College. Nice weather out here, a little warm as we're getting started.
Yep.
We expect a big game. Ryan, what are the couple things you're looking forward to today?
A couple of things I'm looking forward to is to see how Moorpark College's offense is able to combat the high-powered Vikings defense. From Long Beach, they actually have 10 sacks on the season to Moorpark's only 4 sacks. So they have a big defensive line. They get through the offensive line very quickly. So just look out for that. Of course, we have Cato Brown, so he is very elusive. He is a dual-threat quarterback. So we should see a pretty good matchup between the two, offense and defense.
Absolutely. I agree. It's a big, high-powered defense. It looks like they got a lot of big boys on both offense and defense. We should expect a real high-powered game between Moorpark and Long Beach. The Raiders got a handful of them. Both these teams are coming in 1-1. Neither of them are going to want to leave with a loss today, so we'll see them fighting for that as we come into the fourth quarters. We just want to take a couple minutes to thank a couple of our sponsors. UCLA Health. It begins with you. Chuy's. The original Chuy's of Simi Valley. Good food, good ambiance. It doesn't get much better than that. Luminary Photo. Photos today, memories forever. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. California National Guard. What it takes, mind, body, and grit. So as we wait for these the players to make their way back out, in a couple moments we'll get ready with the national anthem and a presentation from our cheerleaders.
Yes, and this should be a great game, of course. As we know, you might not know, but Long Beach City College, the Vikings, they're 4th in the nation. Yes, I said 4th in the nation.
Yes.
So they are a very good team, and like I said in the pregame show, their offensive line looks like an NFL team. They have a freshman out there, Gabriel Rivera, number 73. He's 6'9", 370 pounds. 370 pounds, 6'9", that is something you do not see in most college athletes, especially freshmen.
Yeah, definitely so. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of big boys on this team. We expect a big, high action-powered game between these guys.
And definitely look out for Isaiah Johnson, our running back for Moorpark College. He's 6 feet, 208 pounds. He played last week injured, but he came back this week. He is all clear, free to go, and he has just been running amok on all these defenses. So definitely watch out for him. Of course, with the body size of 6 feet, 208 pounds, he can burst through the line. He's elusive enough to be able to go around defenders, show the spin move, the juke move, but he's also strong enough to be able to truck those defenders. So watch out for him, especially with Cato Brown at the quarterback position.
Absolutely. Also, I expect a lot more out of Christian Hill Sanders, tight end. They really need to start feeding that kid the ball. He's a big boy out on the Raiders field. Really gets moving when he gets the ball, and it's after contact, he really keeps going. So if we can get him fed this game, we can expect a lot of touchdowns.
And speaking about going through contact, as you were saying, Hill Saunders, he's 6'5", 255 pounds. Basically, he looks like a Rob Gronkowski out there, a little comparison to the NFL from the New England Patriots. He is just amazing out on the field. If they are able to utilize him, they definitely should. Just little passes over the middle, and he could break it loose for a 20-yard gain when it's supposed to only be a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also TJ Newborn, number 6. He's a wide receiver. He was great last week.
He's definitely a jack of all trades. I think when we were sitting here watching warm-ups, he was punting the ball about 40 yards down the line. I was curious who was punting. I was surprised to see Newborn on the other side of that ball as he's kicking it down there, helping everyone warm up. Definitely somebody you can see all over the field. I think he had a punt for a return for a touchdown last game. So let's keep the fingers crossed, see if TJ can get those wheels going tonight and make some action happen.
Yes, and definitely, as you were saying, he basically does everything on the field. of course, you were saying about the punt return and punting during pregame. You usually don't see an athlete do that. He's able to run the ball. He's able to also play on the defensive side. Of course, it only lists him as a wide receiver, but he is basically an athlete out there. He could do anything that any coach needs him to do. So he is definitely a tool to use for Moorpark College.
Definitely. So as I stated earlier, both teams are coming in today after a loss. Last week, El Camino kind of squeaked by with a win, unfortunately, for against the Raiders. The Raiders kind of took them a little bit to get going last week as they trailed behind early, but it seemed resilience is what worked on El Camino. As El Camino seems to wear on as the game was going on, Moorpark was able to inch their way back into the game, bringing it to the last 17 seconds of the game when, unfortunately, Cato Brown threw an interception in the middle of the end zone, leaving them with a loss with nothing left, time expiring and after the next play. On the other end, Long Beach suffered a loss as well, kind of the opposite of El Camino's. They got hot early in the first quarter, were lighting up their opposing team, and unfortunately couldn't come away with the win. They dragged behind for the following 3 quarters after going up 24-7 in the very first game. So we'll see where we can go. If both these teams can keep the intensity up throughout the game, we expect a big one.
Definitely, I hope so. And don't be surprised if you see Moorpark College doing exactly what they did at El Camino College last week. As you mentioned last week, El Camino was worn out in the second half because Moorpark had more time of possession. So if Moorpark has more time of possession, you should see this defensive line be worn out. Just like El Camino, they have a lot of big guys down low.
No, yes, definitely. And as we wait for the national anthem to start right here, we're going to take a brief moment. We'll have a commercial. Give a thanks to a couple of our sponsors.
Say, Raider fans, don't forget Las Robles Hospital and Medical Center.
Might not be going to a commercial just yet, just a moment. Just waiting for this national anthem to get going and we can get this game kicked off. About 10 minutes out on the kickoff. Players are starting to make their way to the field. Captains picked out, working their way to the center of the field as we speak right now. You should expect to see both teams rush on the field momentarily.
I bet you one of the captains out there for Long Beach is going to be Jake Meyer. I was talking a little bit about him in the pregame show, but just to give you actual core statistics, he has 674 yards and 6 touchdowns. That is just incredible.
In 2 games.
Yeah, in only 2 games, as you just said. He is just basically lining it up out there. Every single pass that he throws is just caught for a touchdown almost. And he uses every single wide receiver on the board. You have Jalen Watson, number 7, Cedric Bird, number 6, Marcus Moore, number 4, Jacob Welch, number 5, and Jabari Minix, number 2, and they each have a touchdown reception. That's just incredible. 5 receivers. Yes, I said 5 receivers have a touchdown reception in only 2 games. So he's almost like a Peyton Manning. He looks at his number 1 wide receiver, and then he does all his checkdowns. He looks at every single wide receiver if the one before is is guarded.
He definitely spreads the ball around the field, and that definitely pays off in the long run. Players appreciate that, and they tend to play a little bit harder, try and get a little open a couple more times, knowing that he's keeping his eye out for everybody and not just his number 1.
Yeah, like you were saying, definitely. If you have a quarterback that is going to look at all your wide receivers, it gives you a little more motivation to be able to go out there and get open. It gives you a little more motivation to run your routes perfectly. It gives you a little more motivation to be able to beat that defensive back to be able to score, especially like you just said with that quarterback that he is a jack of all trades and he just wants to let it fly to every single wide receiver. And also they run a 2 running back set. At least they have the highest yardage. Tyrese Harris, number 8, and Jason Floyd, number 26. Make sure you watch out for them. Both of them have over 100 yards in the first 2 games.
Yes, yes. Big stats for these boys. As you can see on the screen now, we got Long Beach starting to work their way out. Again, I can't reiterate enough about how big these boys are. We have 370-pound lineman coming in for this Long Beach team. He's not going to be starting, I don't believe, tonight, but it's just a insight on how big this team really is. think the shortest guy on the team we read up was 5'10", I believe, and roughly 200 pounds. So they have a great selection down there in Long Beach area. A lot of the kids coming locally. Well, again, as Ryan was saying earlier, this is the number 4 team in the nation. Sadly, they lost last week. I don't know where that bumps them down to in the new rankings, but that doesn't mean that this team is any worse than they were predicted to be in the beginning. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, they are just great. And as you were saying, Nathan, they started off the game 24 points. First quarter, 24 points.
That's a lot of scoring in the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge score in the first quarter, but then the second quarter they only scored 3 points. It seems like they were getting worn out, almost like El Camino did against Moorpark College. They started getting worn out. They only had 3 points in the third quarter and 3 points in the fourth quarter. So the offense, they were just unable to get the yardage that they needed. They were unable to get in the red zone. They were unable to march down the field and be able to get to where they want to get.
Yes. Expect big things from Cato Brown. Last week he really carried the team, it seemed like, in the beginning, was holding up everybody as things weren't really going smooth as we'd like in the beginning. Cato kept pushing on through, finally got the ball down the field, and then they started working on El Camino as they got tired. We have our captains making it to the field now. We're about to make a coin toss, decide which way we're going to be facing and who's going to be kicking off.
Yes. And as you were speaking about Cato Brown, number 13, our quarterback here at Moorpark College, I was down on the field last game as the reporter, and I could see that Cato Brown was basically riling everybody up. The defense, when they were down, when they had 28 points in the first half, El Camino had 28 points in the first half. He was riling up the defense. He was trying to get the defense into it. He was trying to get his offense into it. He was just pumping everybody up. And as you see, he is one of the captains in the middle of your screen, number 13 on the left-hand side. He deserves to be a captain.
There we go. Both teams taking the look.
Looks like the ref's right about to make the coin toss.
And the flip. Looks like Long Beach wins the toss.
Yes, Long Beach won the toss.
They defer.
Seems like Long Beach wants to defer. Maybe they're trying to have a better second half than they did last week, because only 6 points in the second half. They're going to be starting the ball off in the second half, so they're going to try to get their momentum back.
There we go. Very confident for them to go ahead and defer on that one. Moorpark will start off with the ball as we get ready to kick off. National anthem coming up in just a moment.
And just look at the sheer size of the bench of Long Beach. If you look at how many players there are, it's not just that they are massive, I guess you could say. It looks like an NFL team. They actually look like an NFL team with how many players they have out there.
Absolutely. We noticed that when they were warming up on the field is they were very organized. The team kind of seemed to come out, put themselves together, and get warm-ups going without the coaches. Very mature out of this team.
Yes, they showed a lot of maturity for of course, a college team, and most of them are freshmen or sophomore in college.
Here we go with our Moorpark Raiders. Making their way onto the field. Let's get these boys some applauses to get them riled up.
Yes, they definitely want to be able to come out here with a win, since this is their second home game of the season. They want to be able to get a win.
After a tough loss last week, it's hard for them to understand that anybody can beat them. They were inches away from putting it down.
Yes,
as
they were.
we take a moment of silence and rise for the national anthem.
Being sung by Moorpark College students Betty Jean Hannah.
Whose
And one beautiful sing, beautiful voice.
Yes, that was a great national anthem to be able to start off this Saturday night. Let's see what Moorpark College could be able to do right out of the gates.
Yeah,
of course, they'll be receiving the ball.
Absolutely, they'll be receiving the ball. Give Cato Brown a first chance to strike gold.
Yes, and Cato definitely wants to be able to basically erase the start that they had last week. Of course, I kind of put it down as first home game jitters of the season. Of course, when you're in front of your fans, in front of your cheerleaders, which if you don't know, the cheerleaders, actually, this is their first time that they have been brought back along with the Raider mascot for this season. So it might be a little bit of nerves out there in the first game, but we're looking for Cato to be able to start off quick.
And as the boys take the field, we have Long Beach in white on the right. Moorpark Raiders in their home blacks. Kicker Sergio Garcia for the Long Beach. Taking a moment to talk to the referee as they get prepared.
It looks like we have our guy, number 6, TJ Newborn, back to receive. Of course, he's alongside number 4, DJ Farmer, but as I was saying in the pregame, TJ Newborn, he's definitely a player to watch out for with that punt return for a touchdown last week.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can get this speed going as we kick off right now. Just a couple moments away. And here we go.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you see a big return right here, TJ Newborn.
Sergio Garcia gets it right around the 10 as Farmer takes it up the field. Farmer moving through some tacklers. Looked like he was moving up, brings it up to about the 35-yard line. Nice return.
That was a great return. DJ Farmer coming out here showing that he should be on the return team.
Absolutely. Whether it's TJ or DJ, we're going to have good returns all night with these backs back there.
Yes, exactly.
Raiders will take over at the 36-yard line. First play of the game.
Starting at your own 36-yard line, that's pretty good.
Exactly. Great fielding. Cato Brown, empty backfield right there. It's got 2 split out on each side. Man in motion. Isaiah Johnson with a handoff. We have a flag on the play, though.
Yes, unfortunately, there is a flag on the play. That's something that you definitely do not want to see if you're a Moorpark Raider fan.
Starting out game off the flags, not the best way you want to do it. Glad to see Isaiah Johnson, as we've talked about there. No cast on the hand, looks nice and healthy, ready to go. Number 23, Isaiah Johnson.
Yes, and alluding to the cast, even if it's not on your main hand.
Unfortunately, we are going to see a legal formation by the Raiders already, moving them back 5 yards. Now starting on the 31, replay of first downs. 1st and 15. See if we can start this game off with a different note now.
And yeah, as you were saying about the injury, Isaiah Johnson with the cast, it's also a mental standpoint with the cast on.
Absolutely. Cato and the pistol. Got 3 out on the bottom of your screen. Nice bubble screen. Gets it to E-Man. That's Emmanuel Osachukwu, number 14 with the reception. Another flag on the play, though.
Yes, unfortunately, another flag.
Back-to-back flags. Not the best way you want to start the game.
Alfred on the tackle, number 24 for the Vikings.
It's going to be against Long Beach. 15-yard penalty for the Raiders, moving up for them. It was getting a little rough with the quarterback after the play, after he got rid of the ball already. Cato Brown seemed to take a lot of hits last game. Hopefully we can reduce the amount of hits he's going to take and people touching him. Isaiah Johnson lined up behind him as we get ready to kick this off to 51. Isaiah Johnson in motion. Bubble screen to Isaiah Johnson. Breaks 2 tackles and keeps it going for almost a first down. Just inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and just as I was saying in the pregame show, Isaiah Johnson with the 208 pounds on his frame, he's elusive enough to be able to make defenders miss, but as you just saw here, he ran through 2 defenders. So with that size, that strength, he is just able to push defenders away for the first down.
He only had one guy helping him out there, didn't seem to mind. They set up bunched up formation at the top of your screen. Cato Brown with the empty backfield. Fakes a bubble screen to Isaiah and takes it upfield. Cato Brown likes to keep the ball a lot, as we'll see throughout the game. Great runner, one of our #1 rushers, but that was before Isaiah Johnson was back, our feature running back. Isaiah hasn't got off the field since we started. Last game, didn't spend too much time on the field as it was his first game back. Ball again to Johnson on a bubble screen, breaks a couple tackles. Almost makes the first down out of it again on the inside of the 30-yard line as they look at a second and 2.
Yeah, just out of elusiveness, of course, as Isaiah Johnson, he showed it there.
Cato Brown. Pistol formation with Isaiah Johnson in the backfield. Takes a moment to look over at the coaches. Oh, Cato loses the ball for a quick moment.
So it looks like.
Yeah, was able to turn around and recover it and jump back on it.
Looks like there was a little bit of miscommunication between them. And as Cato Brown, of course, you alluded to being the dual threat quarterback, and he runs a lot. He actually has 164 rushing yards. He is just doing great out there. Of course, 2 touchdowns as well.
Cato Brown gets it right over to Isaiah Johnson. It'll be a reception for a loss as we move on to 4th and 8.
Usually with Isaiah Johnson being out there, a screen play is usually a good play to use, but the defense was just all over them. They saw the bubble screen a few times, and right when they did the actual running back screen play, they already were able to sniff it out. They were able to get right there.
Yeah. We see Evan Benson for the first time tonight. Evan Benson ready to take the snap. Beautiful kick in there.
Yes, that was great positioning. It was almost like
Cedric Bird, #6 on the reception, calls for a fair catch. Long Beach will take over now on their own 11. So it'll be
was probably a great fair catch call because all of Moorpark's players were all around him. They were surrounding him, so that was a great call by him.
As Long Beach takes the field for the first time, the Raiders get a chance to defend. Again, players to watch on our defensive ends. James Perryman at the bottom of the screen, Jordan Flack at the top. Jake Meyer ready to take back as he looks for direction on the field. Starts off with a quick screen out to the outside. Jacob Welch breaking a couple tackles. Moves that up about 30, 40 yards. Gets knocked out. Meyer takes a snap. Rushed in the backfield. Brought down. That was Jordan Flack with the tackle. Wasn't letting go. Got a handle on his jersey and just dragged him down. Jordan Flack, one of the players we told you to watch on defense.
Speaking about Jordan Flack, he already has 2 sacks for 12 yards in the first 2 games.
Making that his 3rd right now. He had defenders hanging all over him, but he wasn't letting go of that #3 jersey, I'll tell you.
He's definitely a force to be reckoned with at 6'4", 220 pounds at the defensive end position.
Meyer waits for the snap. Throwing it over the field. Pass incomplete to Jalen Watson.
Looked like that throw was on the money, but it was a bad position because there was 2 Raiders right there to stop him.
He definitely put his body out there to see if he could get a hold of that ball. After the 10-yard loss on the sack, Long Beach starts from the 40. Meyer shoots it across the field, giving it to Jalen Watson. Another try for Watson as he makes about a 15-yard gain.
This is going to be a big play right here with 4th down.
It's 4th and 2, and they're going for it. Pistol formation.
Don't be surprised if you see a power run right here. Of course, as we mentioned, the big boys on the offensive line. Don't be surprised if you see that.
Move some boys around. Meyer in the pocket, steps back. Number 5 on the defense, Joseph Guerrero, strong safety from Moorpark, was able to knock that out and get that ball from inside his hands. Short pass on Meyer's end anyway.
And as you saw from the Moorpark defense, they basically sent everybody right there. They sent about 7 guys towards the quarterback. So
definitely rushed Meyer on that one. Moorpark will take over on downs on their own 42. Nice field again.
Yeah, 42-yard line now.
Makes it
That's
easier
great.
to work with a shorter field as Cato Brown takes over offense one more time. Putting DJ Farmer into motion. We have a lost ball.
Looks
TJ
like
Newborn was able to jump on it. Big loss for Raiders right now. Almost a 20-yard loss for the Raiders.
that was a big loss. It looks like there was a little miscommunication.
It's hard to see what happened right there. I don't know if DJ got a little confused, but Cato looked like he got a lot of traffic in the backfield on that one before he lost the ball and bounced it back about 15. Luckily, TJ Newborn was able to jump on that one. Wasn't the type of play we were expecting out of TJ, but whatever works at this point. Cato takes the ball. Bubble screen out to Corbin Covey. Wasn't able to hold on to it, though. Reached up there, brought it down, and kind of bounced it off the ground like a basketball. Wasn't able to bring it in. Last week, Corbin Covey had an incredible catch right here on the home field sideline. We questioned his injury for a second as he came down rough on his back, but he's been okay as we see him out there on the field right now. Cato Brown is 3 out to his left. Manuel Osuchukwu solo on the bottom of your screen.
Looks like they got a little too antsy.
Looks like Long Beach was a little ahead of themselves on that, where Cato got him on a snap count. A little offside. We'll move the ball up for them. Last week, Moorpark seemed to have a little bit of an issue with penalties. 3rd down will start over with an increase of 5 yards. Any yardage we can shorten this by, looking at 3 and 30 all of a sudden, will help out. Long 3rd down. Cato's got 3 at the top again. Emmanuel Osuchukwu on the bottom by himself. Cato takes it back, looks for Emmanuel, throws it downfield just out of bounds.
Looks like a few of his first throws were just a little bit off target.
Absolutely. Got to get Cato to settle down out here.
Yep.
Looking at 4th and 30, we see Benson again kick this punt.
Don't be surprised if you see Cato coming back from that.
There we go, Evan Benson waiting to kick the punt. As we're 8 minutes and 16 seconds into the left in the first quarter. Score is 0-0. Benson with the kick. Oh! We see a penalty on that one as Benson was taken down before he could get the kick off.
Wow.
Roughing the kicker is what I expect to see. We'll probably hold on to the offense as I see Cato putting his helmet back on the sideline. Wait for the call from the referee.
That is definitely something you don't want to see if you're a Long Beach fan.
No, that is not. Yes, our offense is working their way back on the field. They know this is going. Right. First down and an automatic first down for the Raiders as they catch a break on that one, moving halfway up the field after almost looking at punting the ball away.
That's definitely a big break, especially with the miscommunication that had the loss of 30 yards.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 from the Raiders 39. Cato Brown, Isaiah Johnson behind him. puts TJ Newborn in motion. Ball's handed off to Isaiah Johnson as he's piled on at the 42. Nice gain of 3 for him.
And even though he was piled on, you saw Isaiah Johnson just with that strength able to still push forward. Of course, with the offensive line of Moorpark, he was still able to get about a 4-yard gain on the play.
Popped right back up, ready for another one as well. And shotgun. Hands the ball off to Isaiah Johnson. Oh, well, it was a fake handoff, little play action as Cato took it up himself for a first down.
Wow, that was a great fake. It seemed like he even fooled both of us.
He did. He held on to that, for a lot longer than I expected, but, that's kind of the option right there. So we see no huddle right now from the Moorpark. They're kind of moving the ball down the field, no huddle offense. Isaiah Johnson lined up behind Cato. Cato communicating to his wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Puts Corbin Covey into motion. He's rushed in the backfield. Throws it out. Manuel Osachukwu with the catch at the Long Beach 49.
Wow, there goes E-Man again.
That was E-Man right there. We've been looking for him all day already. I feel like he didn't get enough catches last week. He's going to have to try and make up for it today. That's E-Man, Emmanuel Osachukwu. Raiders quick to get back on the line. Cato direct in traffic. Nobody in the backfield. Quick bubble screen to Corbin Covey. Nice gain of 6 for Corbin Covey.
These are some great gains. Of course, they're not big plays, but anything that you could get to be able to wear down the defense. And I think they're doing this because, as we mentioned in the El Camino game, they were able to wear down the defense by having more time of possession.
Absolutely. Cato in the pistol. Play action. Cato gets it out there. Gets out to number 83, Ryan Wilmore. Saw not a lot of action out of Ryan Wilmore last week, but he was definitely an effort on special teams. We expect to see more from Ryan Wilmore, number 83. Big boy out there.
Definitely. After he gets a first down, he'll be getting a lot more throws.
Cato lines up with an empty backfield. Isaiah Johnson in motion, puts him in the pistol. Oh, and incredible pass across the corner to TJ Newborn, almost in the end zone, getting to the 2nd-yard line before coming down. Tiptoed the sideline after he caught that ball.
That's what we're going to see out of TJ today. Great play.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Hopefully we can keep this up and feed Isaiah Johnson or even give it to TJ Newborn to let him finish up this nice drive he's made already.
Yes, and being in the red zone, that's just great.
So Raiders' first chance in the red zone as they start from the 3-yard line. Pass to Isaiah Johnson. He's held up at the line. Play for no gain.
Speaking about that last play, TJ Newborn, you saw he was able to go back and be able to retreat the ball for the 30-yard loss. Of course, we don't really like to see plays like that, but he comes right back and he's able to escape the defensive backs for the big pass play.
Absolutely. Puts Isaiah Johnson in motion again, puts him back in the pistol. Cato feeds Isaiah Johnson again as he fires into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a Raiders touchdown. Number 23, Isaiah Johnson. They are first to strike, 6-0 Raiders.
Great way to start for the Raiders. They were just able to march down the field. Of course, after their first drive didn't end as they would have liked it to. They were able to race down the field and get this touchdown.
Absolutely. We got an injured player for Long Beach on the field, Quentin Polk. The defensive back for Long Beach stays on the field a little long as we get the athletics trainers for Long Beach to make it out there. Hopefully he's okay as we have a couple of knees down on the field already.
Yes, and
We're going to take a moment right now to thank a couple of our sponsors. Wood Ranch. Make the right call. We cater fun parties.
And it's Quentin Polk. It's always nice to see the fellas off on their own accord.
It's great to be able to see a player that was injured be able to come off the field for any team.
Quentin Polk able to make it off. Gavin Todd for the field goal to make it 7. Oh, and the field goal is blocked. Corbin Covey to recover it as he tries to make up for that. He works his way back in. Corbin Covey recovers a blocked field goal, able to strike again. Scrambles around a little bit back there and able to put it in for a score. I don't think that was planned, but that was a 2-point conversion completed by the Moorpark Raiders.
Wow.
Credit to Corbin Covey on the recovery.
It looked like he was going to be brought down at the 20-yard line, but able to escape those defenders.
Oh my, oh, if only we had instant replay for that one. That was one you want to see again to count how many guys he dodged. It looked like a failed play for a moment as he scrambles around to put in 2 extra for the Raiders.
If that was a professional team, you would have definitely seen that on SportsCenter tonight.
Not top 10 for Long Beach, that's for sure. 4:26 left in the first quarter. Raiders lead the Vikings 8-0. Getting ready for kickoff.
I think the Raiders might have actually preferred that blocked field goal PAT attempt, because after the PAT attempt was blocked, that would have been getting them 7 points, an extra 1 point. Now they had the 2-point conversion because Corbin Covey was able to take it in the end zone.
Yes, absolutely. Gavin Todd setting up to kick off to this Long Beach Vikings team. And the kick is off. A little bit of a short squib quick, landing around the 20. Number 1, Justin Collins, to take the return, moves all the way across the field and brought down behind where he caught the ball. Great job on Raiders special teams.
These past 2 plays of the Raiders with, of course, great kickoff, great special teams play right here. And then they had Corbin Covey taken in for the 2-point conversion. You just see this Moorpark sideline. They're just ecstatic out there. And also with this crowd tonight, they are just pumping it up for the Raiders.
Yeah, we have a lot bigger turnout as we did from last week. I think we're getting a little confidence instilled in this Raiders from an early scorer. Meyer hands it off right away. Number 25, Derek Evans on the carry, makes it up about 7 yards.
Marcus Johnson, number 8, he had that tackle right there, and he just showed why he is such a presence for this Moorpark defense with that big tackle.
Excuse me, Jason Floyd with a carry. Not Derek Evans, Jason Floyd, number 26. Meyer gets in the pistol. Again to Floyd as he's brought down in the backfield. That's our big boy, number 10, James Perriman, with the tackle as he's fired up after that play.
Wow, that was
Vikings look at a 3rd and 6.
That was great, James Perriman. Of course, he had a big play last week with the fumble recovery for the touchdown that basically revitalized the Raiders, and you just saw right here with the sack. That was just a great play.
Absolutely. These Raiders get ready to shut down another 3rd down. Meyer looks over to the sideline for direction, trying to get his count going. Got Floyd next to him. Quick pass to Floyd. Again, brought down behind the line.
Well, it seems like the Raiders cannot be stopped right here, especially with this high-powered defense that they're showing.
Yes, I think that this early score has put a lot of confidence in these Raiders, has knocked any fear they had of this Long Beach Vikings team out as we get TJ Newborn getting ready to receive a punt.
Seems like the Raiders have that mentality that fourth in the nation they're playing against. They are nowhere near fourth in the nation, so they basically say we have nothing to lose. We're at home. Let's play a good game.
Absolutely. Manuel Rodriguez for the punt. As the kick goes out of bounds before we get to the Long Beach 40, we have a little scuffle on the bottom of the field right here.
Especially with the emotions running high, fourth in the nation, you do not expect to be down 8-0 in the first quarter. So those emotions running high, they want to show what they can do, and they just had a little bit of frustration.
First and 10 as the Raiders take over on the Long Beach 31. Long Beach almost giving these guys red zone as we start off. Cato getting set up back there. It's 8-0. Raiders leading the Vikings. 2:15 left in the first quarter. Cato puts Isaiah Johnson in motion. We got 3 wide receivers bunched up at the bottom of your screen. Cato, quarterback keeper, drives it upfield for almost 10 yards.
Wow,
Let's see
great
if that's
play.
a first down, if they give it to him or not. Not enough, is it? Yep, it's enough. They give him the first down. Cato Brown.
He definitely showed why he's the dual threat quarterback on that run.
Absolutely. Again, with the no huddle, Cato Brown pushes it up the field from to the 20-yard line. Again, a quarterback keeper. Ooh, takes a hit on that one. Smaller gain for 5. Still gets it on. 2nd and 5 we're looking at.
It seems like he's seeing the middle of the defense wide open. It was almost like the LA Rams versus San Francisco 49ers last week.
I'm sure you referred to that one because I was up there and got to see that in person. But
yes, sir.
That was a rough game if you're a Rams fan and a great game if you're a 49ers fan. Isaiah Johnson in motion again. Put into the pistol. Handoff goes to Isaiah Johnson. Johnson, with those strong legs, carries the pile about 3 or 4 yards up the field.
You definitely do not see many running backs doing this, especially at the college level. He is just able to push ahead. He just has a full head of steam behind him. He's able to push the pile on for a few-yard gain.
There we go. Looking at a 3rd and 2. Just under 45 seconds left in this half as the clock winds down. Isaiah Johnson in the backfield next to Cato Brown. Cato Brown hands it off from shotgun position. Isaiah Johnson gets the first down at least. Knocked out of bounds off the 5-yard line. Great run by Isaiah Johnson, breaking out onto the outfield, onto the outside of the field right there.
It looked like Cato Brown, he kind of ran a quarterback option play. It looked like he could have ran the ball, but that was a great decision to hand it off to Isaiah Johnson because all the defenders just swarmed Cato,
The field and takes a hard hit.
Wow, big hit right
Brett
there.
Herron on the hit right there, really laid into him. Was able to make it up almost 20 yards up the field as Long Beach takes over on their own 28.
It seems like Gavin Todd, he's kicking it a little short right now.
Yeah, for his distance, he's usually a little bit farther out there.
Maybe you'll see TJ Newborn out there kicking some.
Hey, don't be surprised with that jack of all trades. Meyer hands it off to running back Redrick Ashford Jr., number 20 for Long Beach, for a short gain.
Yes, that was only a gain of a couple, but that Moorpark defense was able to get inside, led by Jordan Flack, number 43. He was able to get him down on the ground.
Yes, and that's the end of the first quarter. Moorpark Raiders leading 15-0 over Long Beach Vikings. We're going to take a brief moment to thank a couple of our sponsors. Custom Pie, serving up delicious wood-baked pizzas. And Denny's, welcome to America's Diner.
Seems like this first quarter, of course by the score, just controlled by the Raiders, but even the score does not depict how they played out here. Of course, 15-0, that's a great score to have in the first quarter, but the Moorpark Raiders have just been dominant on both sides of the field. Jordan Flack doing everything that he can. Isaiah Johnson, number 23, the star running back, injured last week, still played last week, but he was able to come back, and he has just not lost a beat out here tonight. As you see, number 23, he just had 2 touchdowns. Yes, 2 touchdowns. Usually you do not see one player getting that much yards, and that it was even with bubble screens he's able to get yards.
Absolutely. Meyer taking over. Opposite side of the field. Meyer keeps the ball himself, breaks to the outside for a first down. You know, we didn't see much from Jake Meyer as he was stats show he's a big thrower, but he kept the ball that time and was able to move it upfield.
Yes, he definitely is a big thrower with 674 yards and 6 touchdowns passing. Not too many running stats, though.
Something holds up Meyer. They don't see something they like on the field. Looks to the sideline for a different direction. Meyer looks like he's keeping it again, but a little squib or lateral pass over to Ashford Jr. again, number 20 for Long Beach. Almost for a first down as they get pushed out of bounds right before the 50-yard line.
As you alluded to a little bit earlier about Jake Meyer's running abilities, he actually only has 23 yards rushing this season. So you do not see
half of it right there.
Yeah, basically that was about half of that.
Yeah, you don't see him run often, as we can see. Again, Meyer looks over to the sideline to his coach. Takes the snap. Keeps the ball again. I don't know what they see in the Raiders defense to make them keep wanting to keep it, but there's something because Meyer keeps making it up the field. Looks like he got the first down on that one.
And the last 2 plays, they've been rolling out to the left. I wonder if they see a little bit of defensive breakdown on the left side of the field because they had that quarterback option, that first down, and then the second down they had that quarterback keeper.
Absolutely. Meyer in the shotgun. Got Ashford Jr. next to him again. One wide receiver at the top, 2 at the bottom. Oh, gets touched in the backfield. Tries to do a little quick toss over a couple defenders. Pass knocked out.
It looked like he was almost trying to do a shovel pass, but he just decided to throw it the usual way.
Yeah, got rushed a little bit on that one. Kind of got confused, I could tell.
Seems like that Moorpark defense has been able to dissect the Long Beach offensive line right now. That defensive line is just able to get straight through there.
Absolutely. Meyer getting ready to take another snap. 3 wide receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. Ashford next to him. Pass complete to Justin Collins. That's for a first down. This Long Beach is starting to move the ball up a little bit. They're going to have to put a touchdown in if they want to keep up with these Raiders, as we're looking at 13 and a half minutes left in this half.
Yes.
First and 10 for Meyer. Ashford again next to him. Meyer keeps the ball, doesn't trick this defense this time.
Wow, and he rolled out to the left again.
Yeah, Joseph Guerrero was not tricked on that one. It looked like he was spying on him as he followed him out to the outside and then was able to close in on him for a loss.
Definitely the coach probably told him a little bit of quarterback containment.
Just
to be able
about
to
the
watch
50-yard line. Meyer's about to take over. 2nd and 12. A late pass as Myers tries to get it back over to number 1, Justin Collins. Mike Jones, number 1, was almost in on the interception as he held onto the ball for a second, was able to get a hold of it.
Speaking of Justin Collins, number 1, he's a wide receiver that doesn't get too many balls thrown at him, but that's just to the credit of Jake Meyer be able to survey the field and see all his wide receivers.
We noted earlier, Jake Meyer has a good job of getting the ball to all of his wide receivers and running backs. Across the field, Jake Meyer with the top. Number 5, Jacob Welch to break a couple tackles and take it into the end zone. Touchdown Vikings. I don't know what happened on that one. It looks like Moorpark couldn't wrap up as he was contacted by a couple guys after the catch and just was able to break through and get on the outside to score for Long Beach. Finally getting rid of that 0 for them. 6-15 as the Raiders lead the Vikings.
It looked like there was a few moments that Moorpark could have brought him down, but they were unable to.
Sergio Garcia, number 34, to take the kick. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Moorpark College leads Long Beach City College 15-7. We have 12:24 left in this half. And we're going to take a quick break to thank a couple of our sponsors. Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Well within reach. We're going to go ahead and thank Moorpark Center for Dentistry. At Moorpark Center for Dentistry, we care about our community as much as you do. W.J. Saunders Agency. Proud to be Simi Valley's agent for Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
Looks like we're going to try to get a word from our field reporter, Emery Johnson. He has been down there. He's a little hard to miss. He's 6'8", so he is definitely down there, and he has been able to get some information for us, and let's hope that we could get in contact with him. He has just been great out there tonight. He has been actually on the field right behind the Moorpark bench. So let's see if we're able to
get down to Emery as we're looking for this Raiders kickoff. TJ Newborn, DJ Farmer in the backfield waiting for kickoff, and as we go down to Emery.
Now let's see if Emery could hear us out there. Yes, Emery, being down on the field this whole game, what have you seen from the Moorpark bench?
TJ Newborn to take the catch, moves it about 25 yards up the field to the 33. We're going to go down to the field real quick to Emery Johnson.
It looks like we might actually have a little bit of technical difficulty with Emery Johnson down there. It seems like the mic isn't working right now, so we'll go back to him in just a little bit.
All right, and Emery, I think we got a hold of him here.
Seems like we're just having a little bit of technical difficulties. We will be throwing it down to Emery Johnson in just a bit. Of course,
Cato Brown
he
keeps
is
the
the
ball.
sideline reporter.
Cato Brown was held on to that ball to move up the
So,
field. There we are.
Well,
Emery. Absolutely.
We've been noticing from the bench that these guys have been really putting a lot of effort, especially in the secondary. The Raiders defense not successful last time on preventing a scoring drive, but so far successful this game for most of the part. What I've seen from the offense, though, is a huge push offensively on all cylinders. The Raiders being very successful so far in this game. I'm going to send it back up to you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Emery.
you, Emery. There was a flag on the last play. Yeah, like Emery said, a big push from this bench. It looks like once you get a little excitement into these boys, it's going to help out a lot and take them a long way.
Yes, definitely. The excitement could take you a long way, especially as we saw last week.
And the flag was off signs on defense. We can move this up 5 more for this Raiders to start a first down.
Technical difficulties, I don't care. I play through it.
And it seems like now this is the 5th penalty of the game for Long Beach.
Long Beach's got to get it together. I don't know if they're on the road and a little shaken right now, but if they want to settle down and get a hold of this game.
And yeah, I've been told 50 yards on those 5 penalties. That is definitely something that you do not want to see if you're a Long Beach fan.
And Isaiah Johnson up the middle of the field, powering through defenders as he gets a first down. Looks like 11 for looks like 11 for Isaiah Johnson.
23, Isaiah Johnson with a nice effort up the middle.
Yes, Isaiah Johnson, he has just been great tonight. As we see, he has only played in one game for this season. That was actually the last game against El Camino, and he already had 36 yards. He wasn't able to run the ball too much, but 36 yards as injured player.
Yeah,
That's
last
great.
week he was restricted with a cast on his hand. We don't see that down there this week. Cato Brown, keeper, takes it up the middle for another first down. Looks like that might be spotting him a little bit short for the first down. So we go into 2nd and 2.
We do see our big guy out there, Christian Hill Saunders, number 47. Watch out for him.
Hill Saunders at the top of your screen.
He's that 6'5", 255-pound tight end.
Cato moves Isaiah Johnson a little bit back for formation. Ooh, Cato spins out after being rushed in the backfield, is able to get the ball out. Unfortunately, it's dropped. That was Emmanuel Osachukwu with the drop, unfortunately. Cato was able to squeeze out of a couple defenders. Looked like he was taken down in the backfield and then popped out of nowhere. Great effort by Cato. Unfortunately, Osachukwu wasn't able to bring it in. Surprising for Osachukwu.
Cato was able to make something out of nothing. Of course, that would have been a big sack. That would have been a big loss of yards on the play. But, of course, with the elusiveness of being a dual-threat quarterback, he was able to escape that defensive pressure.
We look at 3rd and 2. Cato looks for direction. River Mesa has made his way onto the field for the first time tonight. See River Mesa, number 34, running back. Looks like they're really making a push right here as we see River Mesa and Isaiah Johnson almost in a wishbone behind Cato. Yes, it is a wishbone formation with Cato, River Mesa, and Isaiah Johnson in the backfield. 2 ways to go with this ball.
And that is a great 2 running back formation that we see. River Mesa actually has 86 yards and 1 touchdown.
5 seconds on the play clock. He's got to get this thing off. Oh, ball shoots over Cato Brown's head. He recovers and throws it away. Cato was hit after the play. He's down on the field holding his head, still on his knees. River Mesa gives him a moment to get up.
Wow, that is definitely something you do not want to see.
Surprised if we don't see a flag on the field. He was drilled after he got rid of that ball. So they were questioning whether it was intentional grounding. Emmanuel Osachukwu in the area to prevent that, but surprised we didn't see anything from Cato.
Yes, like you were alluding to, Cato did. He basically got drilled on that play.
Yeah, Cato shakes it off, gets back up, goes to the sideline for a play, and works his way back onto the field. As we look at 4th and 2, these Raiders are going for it. Kind of a question why they're going for it so early, but at this point, you got to put in as many points as you can against this Long Beach Vikings.
Definitely 4th in the nation. You want to rack up the score as high as possible.
And Raiders take a timeout as we take a moment to thank a couple of our sponsors here. Raiders. 15-7, 9:52 left in the half. And to our sponsors, DCH Auto Group, delivering customer happiness. Conoco Oil, Mac Valley, still locally owned and operated since 1950. Peach Hills Soils, we are dedicated to mastering the art of landscaping.
Looks like the players are running back on the field now, ready for the 4th down.
All right, Raider fans, it's 4th and 2. Let's give a little support to those guys out there. 4th and 2.
This is going to be a big play, 4th down and 2. Wow.
4th down and 2. They have to make the push here. Cato Brown's got Isaiah Johnson and the pistol behind him. Ryan Wilmore at the bottom of your screen. Corbin Covey at the working his way up. It's a bubble screen. And the catch is brought in. It's number 19 on the catch, just barely getting past it. That's Cade Schmitz, wide receiver out of local Westlake. Great catch, Cade Schmidt.
Wow, and I don't know if you caught this, but Cato Brown, you viewers at home, I don't know if you caught this. Cato Brown, he basically fell down after Covey caught the ball. He basically fell down in amazement that his wide receiver was able to catch that one. He was just so emotional that they were actually able to convert that fourth down opportunity.
Yeah, and Cade Schmidt on the catch on that one.
Excuse me, Cade Schmidt.
Don't see much of him, but when he comes in, he gets first downs. Isaiah Johnson with the carry, works his way upfield, spins off a tackler for a gain of 6. Isaiah Johnson, we are glad to see him back. Number 2-3 doing it for the Raiders.
Yes, and even with those little gains, it's basically almost a ground and pound offense, just getting the small yardage, even though that wasn't even that small. That was a 5-yard gain.
Yeah.
Moorpark will definitely take any gain that they can in this game.
Cato Brown moves some traffic around back there. Isaiah Johnson lined up to the left of him. Works his way out to the outside of the pocket, shakes a defender, throws it away downfield. Got out of the pocket on that one, throw the ball away. Didn't see anything downfield, had to get rid of it before he took a loss. Smart play by Cato Brown.
Yes, that was a smart play. Great recognition to be able to stay by the sideline but not touch the white part of the sideline, not get out of bounds before he threw the ball, because that would have been a big loss.
Waited very last second before he threw that ball away for anything to open up. Wilmore open by himself at the bottom of the screen. Goes for the silent count, doesn't work. It's worked earlier. Seems like this Long Beach is a little bit off on penalties, so got to try every chance you can. Cato takes the high snap, looks to Wilmore's side. Wilmore held up on that one. I'm surprised we don't have a pass interference play, as Wilmore turned around for the catch and his arms were tied up with the defender.
He was tied up on that play. And speaking about penalties, Long Beach, they have 5 penalties. And out of those 5 penalties, 50 yards on those penalties, which have resulted in 3 first downs. That is just a big thing for Moorpark College, able to get 3 first downs from just the opposing penalties.
It's good to see a switch on them, or a progression on Moorpark. They had a lot more penalties last week. I hope I don't jinx them at this point, but
yeah, I know,
they've been doing really good on that side of the ball. Gavin Todd gets ready for the kick. Oh, this one's blocked. Really low kicks by Gavin Todd right there, unfortunately. Couldn't make it over the defenders as they block this.
Looks like that was a great block. This is actually the second blocked field goal of the game.
There. Hopefully he's okay. Didn't twist anything up.
We alluded to the size of Long Beach's defensive line. Even in the special teams, that defensive line is just huge, and they blocked, of course, as I said, their second field goal. The first one was a PAT attempt.
Again, saved with the penalties. 15-yard penalty is going to be served to the Long Beach City College Vikings as the Raiders receive a first down, move this ball up the field into the red zone.
Wow, and yes, this is their 6th penalty, 4th first down from the penalties.
The ball is placed on the Vikings 16-yard line as this Raiders team gets hyped up once again. Cato and his squad make it back onto the field, 16 yards from a Raiders touchdown.
Yes, and this is actually their 3rd time in the red zone this game. So they've definitely been marching down the field.
Wilmore and Osachuka, the only wide receivers out there. Cato brought down in the backfield for a loss. Big loss for the Raiders right there. Almost a 9-yard loss.
Wow, that was a big loss of yards for Moorpark. They were just able to get that first down from the Long Beach penalty, but with that sack, that brings them back.
Big to Noah Seu. Cato has a chance to redeem himself right now as we look at 2nd and 20. 8 minutes left in the half.
They're trying to use the silent count to get them off sides.
Osachukwu by himself at the top of the screen. Pass to Osachukwu. Bubble screen. He gets some yardage. He's got the 5.
Wow.
Touchdown, Osachukwu. Emmanuel, the E-man, Osachukwu with a touchdown. That's a Raiders touchdown. 21-7 as the Raiders lead the Vikings. 7:40 left in the half.
E-man does it again.
E-man
Wow.
does it again. That's one thing that Cato said he was going to do last game, is try and get the ball to the E-man a little more in his own words, and he's done that today as Emmanuel Osachukwu takes one in for a score.
Especially with Osachukwu, E-man being about, he's 6'3". That is a big target out there.
Absolutely. Gavin Todd set to take the kick again. This one much higher as he nails it. 22-7. The Raiders lead the Vikings. 7:40 in this half left. What a game so far, Ryan. What
I know,
a game.
Wow. This has been great. That offense from the Raiders, they have just been pushing it down the field. 3 red zone opportunities to 0 by Long Beach.
Where was this offense last week when we saw El Camino? I feel like this team has seen tenfold since last week. I am excited to watch this Raiders team for the second half.
Yes, and as you were alluding to, that El Camino game, the first half, they did nothing. But now they have just been able to just support each other, and they have been able to march down the field time and time again to be able to get a 22-point mark up in the first half.
Absolutely. Love to see the Raiders put in points, especially against a great team like Long Beach Vikings.
Yeah, especially with them being 4th in the nation.
If they take a loss today, we might see them fall out of the top 10. That was a long kick.
Yes, that was. It was great to see
All the way
Gavin Todd do that.
That's a boot right there. It was actually Sergio Garcia for Long Beach with the kick.
That boot was provided by number 99, Todd Gavin.
Excuse me, Todd Gavin with the kick. I don't know where Sergio Garcia came from. As we were saying earlier, he was a little short with his kicks. Good to see Gavin Todd get his leg behind him.
Yes, it looks like he was doing a few squib kicks before.
Meyer in the backfield. Shoots a pass over to Jabari Minix. Jabari Minix. Number 2 has been a little active for Long Beach tonight.
That was a big pass play. He's actually coming in with 77 yards and a touchdown. That's Jabari Minix.
Meyer again, shooting the ball over to number 5. Jacob Welch making his way up the field. Got some footage.
Wow.
Got speed, and he gets in for an end zone touchdown. That was a long run. Jacob Welch able to get around a lot of players on that one to bring it all the way down the field.
Great recognition as well by the running back. He was able to just tiptoe down the sideline. He knew where the sideline was. He used it as his friend, even dodging a tackle from Jordan Flack, number 43 of Moorpark, who is the leader in that defense.
Absolutely. This Vikings is not giving up.
Wow.
That was Sergio Garcia that time with a kick.
Yeah. And as you alluded to, Jacob Welch, that was just great. As I said, he dodged a tackle from Jordan Flack. That is somebody that usually most people down on the field, even if they're bigger than Jordan Flack, they cannot shake him off of them. But as we just saw, Welch did that.
22-14 as these Raiders get ready to receive the ball again. 7:10 in the half. This game is starting to come together as Long Beach puts the points back up on the board. The Raiders lead by 9 it is. Excuse me, I had to put my math together for a moment.
Yes, they have that lead that 8-point lead is great to have, especially
go.
in a second quarter against the fourth. You're going to hear this a lot, but the number 4 team in the nation. That is why it's so big that Moorpark Raiders are able to start off this quick.
Number 6, TJ Newborn for the Raiders.
TJ Newborn in the backfield with DJ Farmer. Either one will show some excitement when they get the ball. Oh, DJ Farmer to pick it up. Moves to the outside, tries to shake a
Wow.
defender. Brings it all the way up to the 36-yard line as he's bumped out of bounds.
DJ Farmer, his 2 kickoff returns. He actually started the game with the kickoff return, and then now he has another kickoff return. He has been able to get it past the 30-yard line on both of them. So great field position, great running by DJ Farmer.
Yeah, absolutely. Great field again for these Raiders. They keep getting great field position of fielding. Cato Brown takes over once again. Isaiah Johnson to his left. Puts DJ Farmer in motion. Handoff to Isaiah Johnson. Fights his way up for a couple-yard gain.
I like that you said fight because he just showed that heart that he has to be able to push forward for it, to make nothing out of something. Excuse me, to make something out of nothing. I mixed that up a little bit.
Absolutely, no. Yeah, there was no hole or any room for him to make or to get in there, and he made his own room.
Yes, he did.
Again in the pistol, Isaiah Johnson.
The Raiders trying to catch the Vikings offsides once again.
The pocket collapses. Cato Brown tries to move upfield for a short gain of maybe 1.
It seems like Cato is using a lot of that silent count or the hard count to be able to try to get that defense offsides once again, as I have mentioned throughout this game. 6 penalties for 4 first downs. That is just amazing.
Yes, it is. It brings up a 3rd and 6. Cato Brown, empty backfield. 3 on the bottom of the screen, 2 wide receivers at the top. Cato scrambles out the backfield. Quick toss to Corbin Covey as it was tipped.
Wow, it looked like he tried to do a lateral.
Confusing why he did that. Corbin Covey made a miraculous catch as the ball was tipped, was short on the first down, and tried to look like he lateral to his closest wide receiver behind him. Could have been a bad decision as we're looking to see who gets the ball after that fumble.
That was a very confusing play. It looked like Covey, as you said, he was just shy of the first down. It almost looked like he was still standing, though, and he could have reached out for that first down marker, but
absolutely
he
went
decided
the
to
other way.
lateral.
The ball is stopped, a Raiders ball, just 2 yards short as we look at 4th and 2. We're going to see the punt return team, or the punting team again, get Benson some action. It's good to see him have a break, though. Last week it seemed like he had about 6 punts in this first half. Only the 2nd punt for the Raiders right now.
Yes. That is good to be able to minimize the amount of punts for any team.
Edmund Benson waits for the snap. Just under 5 minutes left in the half. A boot back there. Number 4.
Wow.
Marcus Moore called for a fair catch and then muffed it. Was taken down around the 15-yard line.
That was a big hit by the Raiders.
Play on the field, or a flag on the field. We'll wait to see what it is. As we take a moment to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Boost Mobile. Great devices for the right price. UCLA Health. It begins with you. Luminary Photos. Photo today, memories forever. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. And California National Guard. What it takes, mind, body, and grit.
Seems like the Moorpark fans are a little upset
Little
of the ref's call on that play.
Absolutely. The ball's moved up pretty far down the field for the Raiders, or for the Vikings, excuse me, as there was interference on that one. Looks like they said that one of the Raiders was interfering with the catch of the ball, causing that muff, which is hard to see from our angle, but nonetheless, Long Beach Vikings start on their 34.
Yes, and with that penalty, that is actually only the second penalty for the Raiders in this game. So, as you alluded to against El Camino, they had the majority of the penalties, but now they are on the lesser side against Long Beach.
Looks like confusion on the field. Is Long Beach's... Oh, it's a reposition of the ball. I believe they said
Looks like with the penalty,
from the 36 to the 31, they're going to be taking it from.
Yeah, they accidentally added an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, not a 20-yard penalty, just a 15. Ten seconds left on the clock. Meyer better get this ball off if they want to avoid a delayed penalty. Meyer gets a bubble screen over to the outside. Number 5, Jacob Welch, taken down behind the line. Looked like he was about to shake a defender off and spin out, but he wasn't able to keep on his feet.
Yes, great defensive play by the Raiders. They were able to just track down that little screen play for a loss of yards. 2nd
and 12. Meyer's got 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 at the top. Meyer, quick check down play, gets it to his running back making some moves. This is number 8 on the reception, Tyree Harris again, out of Pasadena, California. Quick guy, caught the ball around 32 and worked his way about 10 yards for a first down.
Yeah, he's quick and also 5'11", 200 pounds. He's a pretty stocky guy as well.
Absolutely. Meyer works up the field without any huddle. Woo!
Wow, big hit right there.
Big hit. Joseph Guerrero was able to close in on his wide receiver before he was able to make the catch. Number 6 with the incompletion, Cedric Bird.
And the person that came in, Joseph Guerrero, of course, you said he's a strong safety.
Yeah, was able to close in quickly on that one. Across the center of the field again, that's Jacob Welch for Long Beach. Meyer is not scared to throw this ball across the field, as we've seen multiple times now, making big yardage out of it. We see why. Coming into this game, he had 674 throwing yards already. Moving this ball field, empty backfield. Meyer takes his time, scrambles to the outside, throws the ball down the field.
Wow.
A catch, an amazing catch by Jalen Watson.
Wow, it almost looks like they're waving it off.
It looked like they're waving it off. Looks like he didn't bring it in bounds, bring it down in bounds, that is.
That would have been an amazing
Very
catch,
athletic catch by him, though. Jalen Watson, that was. Number 7 for Long Beach. As the lights come on and it gets darker in here, starting to look real Saturday Night Football.
Yes, these are the Saturday Night Lights.
Absolutely. Meyer in the empty backfield again. Big toss over the defenders. Number 8, Tyree Harris is running back. He was trying to catch everybody sneaking behind him. Tried to go over the head of the defenders. Pass incomplete.
It looks like he was almost playing like a NFL type of quarterback. He was throwing his wide receiver open instead of waiting till he was open.
Absolutely, that's very true. 3rd and 10, 3:12 left in this half. With timeout on the field. Timeout Moorpark. That's the 2nd of 3 timeouts for Moorpark. We're going to try and go down to the field right now again to Emery Johnson. See what he's got recorded down there as we come to the last couple minutes of the half.
Yes, our field reporter, he has been doing great work out there. He has been behind the Moorpark bench this whole game, just getting a bunch of information for us from the Moorpark coaches. And I think we're almost going to be getting to him. It looks like he is just making his way down from one side of the field to be getting into position to be able to talk with us real quickly. Yes, and Emery Johnson, he is our field reporter for the game. The score is 22-14, and it looked like Moorpark had most of the momentum in the first quarter, and now Long Beach, they're getting a little bit more momentum. They have 14 points up on the board. What have you seen out there on the sideline?
Yeah, I think it's important for the Moorpark team to remain optimistic about this. Obviously, the defense has had a couple really big stops, James Perryman and Jordan Flack being two of the more important players on this defense right now. It will be interesting to see how the offense is going to come out of this play here. They're going to have to find some way to get the ball into the end zone and find a scoring drive. But nonetheless, I'm seeing on the ends, at least on the sidelines, that the Raiders are trying to buckle up. It's a lot better of a defensive stand this time.
Yes, they have been doing great offensive stand.
Absolutely. On that play, we had a third down not go the way that the Vikings wanted to incomplete pass across the center. Christian Laramie on the defense on that one. Again, thank you, Emery. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Like,
Long Beach gets ready for a punt. TJ Newborn in the backfield calls for a fair catch. Brings it down around the 12-yard line. These Raiders will take over again with 3 minutes left in the half. Another chance to score and spread this lead they have on the Long Beach City Vikings.
that was a great catch by TJ Newborn. Of course, usually when you see a punt returner or a kick returner, you do not think that their catches are remarkable because that is just what they do. But falling on the ground, TJ Newborn is still able to track the ball in the Saturday night lights and is able to reel it in.
Absolutely. Cato Brown gets ready to take the snap from his own 10. Isaiah Johnson in the pistol behind him to his right. Brings DJ Farmer along back with him. Oh my,
Wow.
Cato finds some room. He takes off upfield. Can Cato get there? He is caught at the 15-yard line as he makes nearly a field touchdown to touchdown, end zone to end zone run.
Wow, that is your dual threat quarterback.
That
ladies
is
and
Cato
gentlemen.
Brown for you. Kudos to Cato as he showed you his wheels on that play. He saw a gap and he did not hesitate.
Yes, definitely. He did not hesitate on that one. I thought he also handed it off to a running back, but he had that quarterback keeper. He is just great at faking it to the running backs and taking it himself.
Oh, man. He was so quick on that one. It was hard to tell if it was Cato or if he had handed that off to Isaiah Johnson. He puts DJ Farmer in motion. Oh, wow. After an incredible play. Incredible play by Cato. We lose the ball.
Yes,
On a fumble.
That was an incredible play by Cato, and it looks
Vikings.
like there was just a little bit of misinterpretation.
Vikings take over on their own 19. Unfortunate to see that just happen after such a big play by Cato Brown. Sometimes after a big play, I think you get a little excited, and it's kind of hard to bring yourself back down to reality, and that may have what happened on the Raiders there as they lose control of the ball when they get into the red zone right before the end of this half.
Yes, and that was actually their fourth red zone opportunity in this game.
Meyer has a chance to close the gap on this lead with the Raiders. Set up in the pistol formation. Again,
Wow.
across the middle of the field. Number 4 on the catch, Marcus Moore for the Long Beach Vikings. If a player loses helmet for the Raiders on the field that time.
That was
Guerrero
great
laid
pass
down
play.
the tit on that one, but has to come off for a play as he lost his helmet. Has to come off for a play, make sure that helmet's reattached before he can come back into the game. Meyer again, pump fakes, makes it again across the field. That's number 2 Jabari Minix, wide open field. Nobody's touching him. He's going to take that in for a touchdown as the Vikings shorten this lead now 20-22.
That was a great play. That pass play right down the middle. We've been seeing that all day today. It was almost like the game that I was alluding to with the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers. They actually had the Rams defense. They were leaving the middle wide open for the whole entire first half, and Blaine Gabbert from the San Francisco 49ers were just able to dissect that defense, pass it in the middle every single time, and that's actually what we're seeing out here tonight. Meyer is able to see that the Raiders have a wide open middle of the defense, and he is just slinging it out there.
Absolutely. Moorpark takes their third and final timeout with 2 minutes to go as the Raiders lead 22-20 over the Long Beach City Vikings.
Wow, and this has just been a great game. Of course, we have seen the Vikings. They are making a big comeback, only down by 2 points now.
So these boys get rehydrated as we make a last 2 minute push in this half.
Yes, that rehydration is important, especially after that big pass play. That defense, they need to be able to regain
now
themselves.
The question, Ryan, as we're looking into this half, are they, do the Vikings go ahead and just kick a field goal and make this a 1 point game? Or do they try and close this gap and take a 2 point conversion to tie the game 22-2 going into the half?
If I was part of the Vikings coaching staff, I think I would go for 2. They are down by 2 points, end of the half, and they are getting the ball at the start of the second half.
And that's what it looks like they're doing as Myers set in the backfield, shotgun, right next to his running back. 2 point conversion. Meyer moves to the outside of the pocket, finds a wide receiver in the back of the end zone. That was again number 4, Marcus Moore, able to complete that 2 point conversion. The Vikings tie this game 22-22. 2 minutes left in this game.
Wow.
What is Cato Brown and the Raiders going to do with 2 minutes left on the clock?
I know, only 2 minutes left. They're going to have to channel their inner Peyton Manning. Of course, Peyton Manning, he's very famous for running that 2 minute offense with the Indianapolis Colts and Denver Broncos in his NFL career. That 2 minute offense, just slinging it, making sure that your wide receivers get out of bounds after a catch. That is something that they need to do to be able to at least get a lead back, because, of course, against the the national fourth team of the nation, and
Absolutely.
They are tied. They had the win. They had the lead, and now they're tied. This is just not good for the Moorpark Raiders, especially with them now having the momentum.
Absolutely. You don't want to see momentum start swinging back toward the Long Beach team. Long Beach sets up to kick off the ball to the Raiders. TJ Newborn and DJ Farmer in the backfield ready to return. Little squib kick, barely making it to the 30-yard line. Number 32 on the catch, Brett Herron, linebacker, able to make a little yardage as he runs across the field. At this point, I think your team just doesn't want you to lose the ball.
Yes, especially with the linebacker picking it up.
Yeah, we don't need a touchdown. Just don't lose the ball. Raiders get set to take this ball from their own 28.
And that was actually an odd kickoff because it looked like it was almost an onside kick, but it was too far down the field to be an onside kick.
Absolutely. 1:59 to go in this half. Cato Brown gets a chance again with 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the field. Corbin Covey on the catch across the middle. Corbin almost breaks a tackle, making it to about the 45-yard line for a first down. We'll see the Raiders hustle it up with this 2-minute drill right now.
Especially with no more timeouts in the half.
No huddle. Cato gets the squad lined up. 3 wide receivers at the top. Cato scrambles in the backfield. Pass knocked down by number 10. That was Darnay Harris with the knockdown of the ball. Saw Cato scrambling and going for it. Just kind of stuck his arms up and brought that ball down.
You definitely do not want to see a pass attempt that gets knocked down, but at least for the Raiders, it stops the clock, which that's what they need in this drive.
Johnson behind Brown in the backfield. Change of play, it looks like. Communication from the sidelines. Cato has a quick toss. That's Wilmore on the catch.
Nice.
That was Ryan Wilmore out of Granada Hills, wide receiver, 6'1". We're seeing him get more and more action as we're going. Last game, a little action on the special teams, catching the balls. He's getting more confidence, and he moves the ball up the field for another first down. Cato bounces the ball off his face mask, a little bit of a high snap. We'll see who recovered the ball on that one. We've kind of had a little bit of trouble with snaps today, if you noticed.
Yes, we have. There's been too many muff snaps tonight.
As we decrease the amount of penalties the Raiders have, they are increasing the amount of times they're losing the ball from the snap. I don't know if we have another center in there. It seems as if we've had number 53, Brian Angel, playing center both games. I don't know what's going on down there. Cato takes a snap. He's tangled up in the backfield and brought down for a loss on that one.
And right before he was going to throw the ball, number 7 on the defense, Marcus Reynolds, was able to get in there. He's 6'4", 247-pound sophomore. He was able to put his hand right where Cato Brown had the ball, so he was unable to get the ball free to be able to throw.
Just reached in there and kind of got a hold of that jersey and arm. 31 seconds left in the half, 3rd and 12. Cato steps up, and he's taken down in the backfield. Big hit by number 24, Guy Alford, for Long Beach City Vikings.
Well, and he's definitely the guy after that.
Brings up the 4th down as the clock is burning out. We have 10 seconds left in this half. We'll be surprised to see if we see another play out of this half.
Yes, it looks like they're just walking off the field for halftime.
And absolutely, that'll be the end of the half. As we look at it, 22-22, Raiders, Vikings. We'll be back to you after the halftime break. What do you think so far before we shoot to the halftime?
It's just been a great performance from the Moorpark Raiders. They just came out firing on all cylinders. They lost it a little bit in the second quarter, but what I thought was great was seeing Moorpark just be able to put up a 22-point mark on this 4th team in the nation.
Absolutely. For Nathan Espinosa, for Ryan Ketchum, I'm Nathan Espinosa. We'll be back with you after the halftime show.
A firefighter's duty. Fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved eating fulfillingly flavorful Firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not. Because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Thank you, Betty Jean Hanna. And with that, we have with us at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to introduce our cheerleaders. You can have a nice hand for our cheerleaders, nothing wrong with that. And now, under the direction of cheer coach Kelsey Stewart and assistant coach Jordan Gershman, let's introduce the 2016 Moorpark College Raider Cheer Squad. The captains, Emily Krakauer and Jackie Ramos. The squad of Allie Burns, Michelle Pfeiffer, Isabel Gullion, Lindsay Vukovic, Kenna Potter, Summer Fitch, Nina Gonzalez, Alyssa Sanders, Shay Wender, Savannah Hernandez, Jessica Santoya, Gabby Fahrenkoff, and of course, the Raider mascot, Jason Brooks. How about a nice hand for the cheerleaders, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here they are to perform their dance routine, your Moorpark College cheerleaders. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our cheerleaders are going to get involved in the In-N-Out Burger Spirit promotion. So what's going to happen is they've got 60 t-shirts, 10 Frisbees, and on one of those Frisbees, there's a complimentary ticket for free burger, fries, and beverage. So people in the stands, make some noise for your cheerleaders.
I hit some lady in the face.
I almost hit a kid and I went over.
No, I don't want peanut butter. Who doesn't want peanut butter? It's peanut butter.
No, I get the card, you get the Frisbee. It's a free burger, fries, and a drink.
Hey Raider fans, we want to remind you what's going on at Custom Pie. Come on down for great happy hour prices after the game at Custom Pie. It's a walking distance away.
Hey, Chrissy.
Raider happy hour, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. They got large screen TVs along with delicious appetizers such as fire roasted wings, wood baked pizza, and discounts on both beer and wine. Custom Pie is located right across from Griffin Stadium. Come join the fun, where every pizza is a work of art. Custom Pie.
You're so cute. We were gonna make them.
Oh, well, that's
A firefighter's duty. Fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved eating fulfillingly flavorful Firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not. Because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse subs, the hero of all subs.
Halftime show presented to you by Boost Mobile. Great devices for the right price. My name is Ryan Ketchum. I am the color commentator analyst for tonight's game alongside Emery Johnson, who is actually the field reporter. And we've had a great game tonight, 22-all with the fourth team in the nation. with Long Beach City College, but Moorpark College has been able to keep up with this high-powered offense. What have you seen from the field?
You know, on the field, it's sometimes a lot better of a vantage point and sometimes worse of a vantage point, but definitely getting into the thick of it, the first thing that I can tell you that I saw was that Long Beach does not look as crisp as they should. If their ranking is indicative of what their position is, they should be a lot cleaner in their play, and penalties have really, really hurt them so far in this game. And you know, it's important that they need to, if we're looking at what they need to do, they need to button up the hatches here because penalties are going to kill them. On the flip side of that, we're rooting for Moorpark on this side because this is the Moorpark broadcast team. You know, Moorpark has been playing as best as they can. If you look down on the sidelines, the defense is out for blood. The defense is hyped up. Unfortunately, they've let off a couple long plays by Long Beach City College, but in regards to the offense, they have been driving and they have been able to push down the field. So I'm seeing quite an interesting and exciting game down on the field so far. I'm sure it's just as exciting for you guys. What do you see from your vantage point?
Yes, it has been great up in the press box. Of course, Jake Meyer, that's a highlight name out there. He is actually the starting quarterback for Long Beach City College Vikings. He has just been lighting it up on the field. He actually had 674 yards for 6 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the season, and tonight he is just lighting it up. If you got a chance to see the Monday Night Football game, I've been alluding to it in the broadcast, but the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers, the LA Rams left the middle of the field wide open, and as we saw tonight, Long Beach City College, they have been able to just basically throw it down the middle the whole entire game because the Moorpark College has just been leaving the middle wide open. That is basically just something that they need to cut down on. Have you heard the coaches talking to the players about any of that?
The coaches are right now just trying to make it so that the players understand it's not about the big hit, it's not about the big play, it's make the tackle. Get the guy down so that he's not going to be, you know, chucking down for extra yards. Obviously, you see a lot of their big plays end up being just screens or little slants across the center where they just find open field because the guys who are going for the tackle don't end up getting a clean tackle or a clean grab around the player who has the ball. Like you said, I mean, throwing for a lot of yards, but if you look at it, it's a lot of really big plays. And, you know, when they start trying to play small ball, their run hasn't been existent. And so, you know, it's important to recognize, especially for the Raiders, I would say if they're in the locker room right now, they need to make sure that they can get those tackles made. The defense is hyped up. They want to be out there, and they want to, you know, they're out for blood right now. They want to kill the other team, if you will, if you're going to put a word behind it. And, you know, it's exciting to watch, though, and we'll see. 22-22. I mean, what can you expect? I mean, let's dive into the stat chart here. You know, special teams has been relatively even.
Yes.
You know, mistakes-wise, that's why Long Beach is where they're at right now. And, you know, but this is a game of who makes the most or the least amount of mistakes, and the Raiders so far have played the better game, in my opinion. And it comes down to them. You know, really cutting down on their mistakes defensively, and we should see a better game in the second half. I don't know what you think.
Yes, and I agree, but also with the penalties. We saw that Long Beach City College, they just had too many, but Moorpark last game against El Camino, they had the majority of the penalties, and they did not start off early. So that is actually a big change, and of course that is a good change on the Moorpark College side. And what did you see from the field on that part?
Yeah, well, you know, exactly. You were on the field last week, and obviously you pointed out penalties were huge, especially first and second game of the season with Pierce and El Camino. You know, it was detrimental to the way that the Raiders are playing. Now you're seeing a very evenly played game just because the Raiders are playing very well. So that's, you know, we're getting our cue from our guy here. I'm going to let you.
Yes, and it has been a great half, but we will actually be back with just a few moments. We are just going to thank some of the sponsors that we have. But, of course, this is the Boost Mobile Halftime Show. Great devices for the right price. We'll be back in just a bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the halftime show presented to you by Boost Mobile. Great devices for the right price. My name, once again, is Ryan Ketchum, alongside Emery Johnson, our field reporter. I'm the color analyst. And we were just finishing talking about the penalties and how Moorpark basically flipped the switch against what they did last time. And we saw Long Beach. They actually flipped the switch again. They started off scoring 24 points in the first quarter in their last game. What have you seen out there on the field that they were unable to have that big momentum spurt?
Yeah, I would say our final thoughts for this last segment here. Long Beach has been playing a lot cleaner. Well, not necessarily cleaner, but they have played better as the game has progressed. It's not a initial strong first half or first quarter, if you will. It's just a strong first half. So, it'll be interesting to see how the coaches have addressed that in the locker room. And that's my at least final thoughts on this. Is we'll see how the coaches take two situations and address it, and we'll see which team comes out victorious at the end of this. I'm excited to watch the second half.
Definitely, I'm excited too, and of course, they're ranked fourth nationally. That is just amazing how they are ranked that high, and Moorpark has been able to stay with them. How do you think they have been able to stay with them? Of course, we talked about the defense and offense a little bit, but how do you really think they were able to stay with such a high-powered offense?
Yeah, you know what? It's a testament to the way that Coach Mike Stewart has been training this team and the coaching staff of Moorpark College. They do an excellent job of preparing these guys for these games. A lot of people don't realize the amount of work that goes into preparation, and it is a testament, I would say, to the way that these guys are trained and the way that they practice. As you can tell, fourth in the nation, Long Beach City College, and ranked top 100 in the nation, Moorpark College. This is as good as it gets. This is Southern California junior college football.
Yes, this is great Saturday Night Lights, and that actually concludes our halftime show presented to you by Boost Mobile. Great devices for the right price. We will be back with more second half coverage after the break.
Welcome back, everybody. A great halftime. I'm Nathan Espinosa alongside Ryan Ketchum. We're back for a second half of Moorpark Raiders football. They're playing the Long Beach Vikings right now. If you're just joining us, it's 22-22, all tied up right now. The Raiders were able to score real big in the first couple plays, made a big presence in the first quarter. As the second quarter dragged on, the Vikings grinded their way back until they are tied now, 22-22. We should see some big adjustments coming out of the locker rooms for both teams. Teams are both getting ready to get on the field. Ryan, how was it?
It was great. It was just an exhilarating first half of play. Actually, I was talking to Emery Johnson, who's actually our third member of the team. He is actually a reporter down on the field. I was talking to him at the halftime report, and he was giving us a little insight on what they are doing on the field, and they are staying positive, and they're just keeping the momentum going because they have just been doing great. That is the Raiders, of course, with 22 points on the fourth team in the nation. That is just unbelievable.
Absolutely. As the Raiders take the field, here we go. Gavin Todd with the kickoff. It's an onside kick.
Wow.
Unfortunately, not going to make the entire 10 yards it needs to for the Raiders to recover it. That was a little of a Sean Payton move, if you ask me.
Yes.
Are the Raiders trying to win the Super Bowl right now, or what's going on right now? Way to start off a halftime with the onside kick.
I know, definitely alluding to that Super Bowl between the New Orleans Saints and Indianapolis Colts, where Sean Payton, the head coach, started off with that onside kick. Whew, risky
Definitely
move
a change
right there.
of pace. Absolutely a risky move. Didn't pay off for the Raiders this time as they give their Long Beach Vikings incredible field. They're now at the 50-yard line to kick this one off. Offsides will be charged to the Moorpark special teams.
Wow. That's definitely not a good penalty to have with that missed onside kick opportunity plus the offsides. That just brings them back even further. That brings the Vikings in deep Raider territory to start off the second half.
And here we go as we get ready to start this second half. Again, Mayer in the backfield is for playing quarterback. Got 3 wide receivers on the bottom, 2 at the top. One of them is his running back. We'll wait for the referee and see what he's got to go.
Yes, it looks like they're just trying to find out the placement of the ball. They had it at the 40-yard line. Now they have it at the 39-yard line from the penalty. Seems like they're just now getting ready.
Absolutely. And here we go. We're back with second half football. Mayer, empty backfield, looking to go with the long ball right off the bat. Steps up in the pocket and is taken down. Nobody else besides Jordan Flack in the backfield for the tackle. That is the second-year redshirt sophomore. Jordan Flack, number 43, with the tackle. He has been all over. I think that's his 4th sack on the year already, 2nd today. Seems like he's getting 2 a game if he can keep that up.
2 sacks today. That is just great against Meyer.
Absolutely. Again, Meyer rushed in the backfield. Give it to his check down as running back. Running back makes a couple moves, able to get a little 3-yard gain out of that after the loss.
Yes, they were able to pass the original line of scrimmage, so they are moving the chains now. Of course, this will now be a 3rd down, but they did get a big yardage gain down now to the 35.
Absolutely. Now Mayer getting these boys back out on the field. Again, empty backfield. It's got wide receivers all over the place. 2 at the top, 3 on the bottom of the screen for you. Mayer lasers that one. That was a frozen rope across the field to number 5. That was Jacob Welch, wide receiver out of Mater Dei. Been a big player in today's game out of Mater Dei. Was one of the scorers of a touchdown earlier tonight. Great touchdown run for him as well, as he was able to show his wheels and put a burn-in on the team. Mayer's in shotgun with his his running back right next to him. Mayer shot across the field to number 4. That's Marcus Moore on the reception for a 1st down.
Wow, and that was a great fake on the play. He even faked me out a little bit with that. He had a fake handoff. That is Meyer, of course, to his running back. Went back to pass and had a pass completion, as you just said, Marcus Moore for a 1st down.
Absolutely. They're moving this ball up the field pretty quickly. They started around the 50, already in the red zone at the 15-yard line, knocking on the Raiders' touchdown door. Mayer with the handoff.
Handoff to Floyd.
That was Jason Floyd, running back. Real stocky guy, only 5'7", but a heavy 190 as he pushes that ball up the field. Real power horse.
Wow, 5'7", 190. That is definitely somebody you want on your team running the football.
And
big, stocky guy.
Someone you don't want to get in the way of.
Yeah, definitely.
Mayer gets ready to take it a shotgun with Floyd next to him. Hands off to Floyd again. Floyd looking for a hole to get up through. Finds a gap, getting between a couple defenders for a nice 4-yard push up the field.
Yes, that was a great job by Floyd. He was able to get past those defenders. He showed the elusiveness a little bit with that. Of course, he has a 190 frame, but he showed a little bit of elusiveness there. Usually you do not see that by those big running backs.
Absolutely. Knocking on the door of the red zone right here. Mayer takes a high snap again to Floyd. Floyd's eager to get in the end zone, finds his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Squeezed between a couple players. Jason Floyd, number 26, for the touchdown for these Vikings. Able to put a lead on this Moorpark Raiders team for the first time tonight as they score 28 to 22 Vikings.
Vikings take the first lead of the game
Looks like there's an injury on the field. That is a gruesome injury. You do not want to see any player. If you are a
Oh,
Raider
yes.
fan, you do not want to see him get hurt, as well as a Long Beach fan.
As he's reaching for that left ankle, as athletic trainers go to help him and see what we got going on. As we take a quick brief break to thank our, we're going to go ahead and take a break to thank our sponsors right now, as we hope this Long Beach Raider, or this Long Beach Viking is able to get back up. Boost Mobile, great devices for the right price. UCLA Health, it begins with you. Luminary Photo, photos today, memories forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we have a second
Firehouse
attending
Subs,
to the player,
the hero of all subs.
the Raiders Illustrated
California
magazine,
National Guard,
please open
what
it
it
up and
takes,
take a look at
mind,
page 5.
body, and grit.
If it's signed by head football coach Mike
Unfortunately,
Stewart,
this
you
player
can
isn't
just
up
win
yet.
some delicious
Hopefully
In-N-Out
we'll get him to
Please bring your signed
work in
copy
that, I don't
to
know,
the
hopefully it's
main
nothing
press
too
box
serious.
here
He can
at
stretch it
Memphis
out or
Stadium.
get him off the field, or he can walk himself off shortly. As you see a couple players making it toward him. I don't know if that's the case tonight.
Page 5.
Something that at least is a good sign. They were able to stretch out his leg fully, which usually with the knee injuries, you aren't able to stretch out your leg fully. So at least that is a good sign, because knee injuries, that could be very detrimental to someone's career.
Absolutely.
Illustrated magazine, thank you.
But that definitely is not something you want to see. And as we saw with the Vikings able to score on their first drive of the half, that was actually their first red zone opportunity of the game, and they were able to score.
We're going to take a brief break and give this player a couple more minutes as we think a couple and go to a commercial for a moment. We'll be back in 30 seconds. He was able to get up. He was able to start working his way off the field. It might have been just a cramp or something. It's hard to know at this point, but he's jogging his way off the field. Needed a little motivation, I think, from a couple of his teammates to get up and get going.
Yes, and definitely with a big injury, that is a very bad situation for the Vikings. But we actually have our on-field reporter, Emery Johnson, down there. Do you have any details on the injury? What did you see down on the field?
As you said, number 17, Donald West, the tight end defensive lineman, he's been working in the fullback position. As you see, he was on the jet sweep on the inside that time. It seemed to be his ankle that was the injury. That's what he was yelling about. There's a chance that it could be broken. His chances of returning to this game are most likely questionable at this point. I don't know if we'll be able to see him get back. He did walk off the field with assistance from the trainers, but like I said before, it should most likely be questionable.
Yes, it definitely should be questionable. Thank you very much, Emery, for that report.
Yeah, no problem.
Excellent, Emery. Again, needed a little help to get off the field. Hopefully he's not injured too bad.
Yes, you never want to see any player getting injured.
We get ready for a
out
kickoff
there.
again as the Raiders trail for the first time by 6, 22 to 28. Excuse me, 22 to 29, trailing by 7 to the Vikings.
Yes, and as you alluded to, it's the first time they've trailed in this game. Not a good sign, because this Long Beach Vikings, they just are able to tear it up on the offensive side, as we just saw on the first drive of the second half. So don't be too surprised if you start seeing the Vikings racking up the score.
Absolutely. The Vikings, along with the Raiders, expected a lot of adjustments. We saw adjustments made definitely from the Long Beach team. We can see Cato Brown and these Raiders get back in it and make some touchdowns.
Yes, Cato Brown definitely has to take over and play his style of game.
All right. That's DJ Farmer with the reception, able to bring it about 20 yards just across the 30-yard line. Cato Brown gets another chance to bring his boys out and show this Long Beach team that he's for real.
Yes, Cato Brown, he has actually had a fairly good game today on not just the passing side of course, the quarterback position, but he has been able to get some big runs in the middle of the field. He actually had about a 70-yard run in the first half, so don't be surprised if you see that.
Isaiah Johnson with the run fight, and then the pile right there took about 4 or 5 of the Long Beach Vikings to bring him down. That is our very own strong horse.
Yes, and as you alluded to, Isaiah Johnson, he was able to pull basically the whole defensive line with him as he moved forward for about a 3-yard gain. But 47, Christian Hill Saunders with the big block, the tight end, able to open the field up for Johnson.
Johnson in motion. That was a fake handoff to Johnson. Cato Brown keeps it and tries to work up the field for a gain of about 4 or 5.
That was another good quarterback option, as we have seen throughout the game from Cato Brown and Isaiah Johnson. We're going to be seeing a lot more of that quarterback option, especially when you have a dual threat quarterback like Cato Brown. You see that a lot.
Absolutely. Lots of adjustment going down on the field right now. Cato Brown gets his troop set. Shotgun formation, nobody behind him. Cato Brown brought down just after the goal line as he tried to break out of the pocket and take off on a run. That was number 58 on the tackle for Long Beach.
Yes, Bubba.
Big Bubba. We alluded to Bubba earlier.
Well, he is a big boy out there, and he was just able to land right on Cato Brown. Bubba is actually a 6-foot, 272-pound freshman. You do not see too many people coming out of high school that look like him.
Absolutely not. Evan Benson ready to take the punt from about the 36-yard line. Expect to see a deep pump for Evan Benson. Clean punt. Cedric Bird lets it bounce out of bounds. And Long Beach will take over around the 20-yard line.
Yes, and that was a great punt because, of course, with the Long Beach offense that we saw, the Vikings were able to march down the field in their first drive of the second half, and now they are brought back behind their own 20-yard line. They're in basically their own red zone, the wrong red zone. They don't want to be in there, but that is where the Moorpark Raiders basically place them with that amazing punt.
Great kick by Evan Benson on that one. Really great field. Field position for these Long Beach is real backed up. See if they can work their way down the field again.
Looks like they're trying to do a hard count to be able to have the Raiders go off sides.
Mayer steps out of the pocket, able to scramble a little bit. Moves it upfield for a reception. Jacob Welch stopped on the play.
Pass complete, first down.
And we've heard Jacob Welch's name called a lot tonight. He has just been an amazing wideout for Mayer to be able to throw it to.
Number 9, Josh for the Raiders.
Josh. Oh, Mayer.
Wow.
Brought down in the backfield, tried to scramble around, had nowhere to go.
Pressure on that one as the quarterback goes down, loss of yardage.
That was great play by Moorpark's defense. They have been great on just bullying the offensive line of the Vikings and be able to go past them for that sack.
Absolutely. Second and 14, 9 to go in the third quarter. Long Beach leads the Moorpark Raiders 29-22. Mayer takes a step back, loses the ball as he tries to dish it out to his running back, Ashford Jr., we haven't seen since early in the first half. Ashford Jr. kind of looked confused for a second as the ball passed him. He didn't see it swing behind him.
And that's something that you'll hear a lot from this game with the Long Beach Vikings. They use all of their running backs and all of their wide receivers. They just try to get everybody. Yes, lots of players.
Long third down for this Long Beach team. 3rd and 14 they're looking at. No running back in the backfield. Five wide receivers spread out across the field. Mayer tries to make a daggering strike across the field to the 50. The ball, unfortunately, falls out of number 5, Jacob Welch. Seems to be his favorite target tonight. Just barely short of catching that ball for a first down.
Yes, and it looks like he put it in the tightest of windows possible. It looked like he really fit it in there, but there was too much coverage. There was double coverage on that wide receiver, so he was unable to bring it down. That's Welch.
Absolutely. Long Beach forced the punt again. Punt from their own 26. Newborn gets ready to take this one back. Long punt. Newborn has to go back for it. Circling back around. Makes a couple cuts. Able to bring it back up to the 35.
That was almost a Deshaun Jackson-esque.
Very Deshaun Jackson.
Yes, punt return. I don't know if you remember, but I forgot what it was called, but the Philadelphia Eagles, when he was on the team, Deshaun Jackson, caught a punt return the same way he was running towards his own end zone, and then it was the final play of the game, was able to bring it back for a touchdown and beat the New York Giants.
Absolutely. I remember that. He actually fumbled the ball, if you remember, muffed it, picked it back up as the defenders almost got him and just took off up the field. Expect to see some action like that from TJ Newborn with his speed. So
Yes,
Raiders will
especially
take
with
over
speed.
the ball right here at the 35-yard line. After receiving a holding penalty on the punt return, they're actually going to be starting from their own 30 after a holding play on that reception. That return.
Wow, and a big blow for TJ Newborn. He was able to make something out of nothing. He caught the ball around the 20-yard line, making a move to his own end zone. Then he brought it back to the 30-yard line, but with the penalty, it goes back to the 20.
Not discouraging, Cato Brown gets ready to make this long ride down the field. Oh, ball snapped over his head. Cato's able to pick it up and recover it. Takes a loss of about 10. Raiders will now have a long second down from their own 11.
That was another bad play right there. Another muffed snap. We've seen that a lot tonight.
A lot more than normal, absolutely. Cato gets his troops organized, sending Isaiah Johnson running back. 4 stacked out on the outside. Ryan Wilmore by himself on the bottom of the screen, setting up a block for Cato, and Cato's brought down just shortly after the line of scrimmage for a short gain of 2. Setting up a long third down. Looking at 3rd and 12.
Wow, making the tackle was JJ. That was Josh JJ Allen, 6'4", 270 pounds. He's a beast out there.
Absolutely, big playmaker. 7.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Raiders trailing the Vikings 22-29. Penalty on the play.
And yes, another penalty flag. That's
Looks like
something.
it'll be a delayed.
Wow.
False start, excuse me. Backing the Raiders up into their own end zone almost. Cato's taking the snap in the shotgun from about the 2-yard line. Again, 4 bunched up at the top of the screen. Ryan Wilmore at the bottom.
Another great play
Great
by the
play.
defense.
Marcus Reynolds was able to get behind the line and get a hold of Cato before he broke out for some field. Evan Benson was backed up into the end of his end zone to try and get this punt off as the Long Beach City Vikings shut the Raiders down on their own end zone.
It seems like this is almost flip-flopped from the first half. The Raiders came out scoring, and the Vikings had the more penalties, but now it basically switched at the start of this.
Absolutely. Jacob Welch set up back there to receive this ball for Long Beach. Evan Benson able to get the ball off in his own end zone. Welch takes a fair catch. Closing in on the Raiders, 39-yard line.
And that is definitely a hard play to make right there.
Absolutely. as we take a switch of possessions on this one. The ball will start on the Raiders' 39-yard line. Great positioning for this Long Beach team.
Yes, and as you're saying, great positioning. This is very big to be able to have that good positioning. That just makes a whole difference with confidence-wise.
Absolutely. Mayer shooting a screen to the outside. There's Ashford with the catch. Nobody can bring him down, but it's a catch for a loss, unfortunately, for the Long Beach.
As there's no advancement by the Vikings.
Let's go Raiders! Let's go Raiders!
Wow, and you were saying that they were unable to bring him down. He's actually 6 feet, 220 pounds.
That is a big one. Definitely a lot of the guys, even if they're not the tallest, they carry a lot of weight on for this Long Beach team.
Yes.
Mayer by himself in the backfield. Takes a high snap, throws it across the field. Finds number 2, Jabari Minix again. Down at the catch as he was on his knees when he caught the ball. Gain of about 10, making him shy for about 2 yards on the first down.
Being able to catch the ball on your knees, that is also very hard to do.
Penalty on the field, offensive holding, moving this one back. We'll have a replay of the second down, now 2nd and 15 for this Vikings team.
And wow, that is a big blow. They just had that amazing catch that would have probably brought them within 5 yards of the first down, but now they're brought back.
Now looking at 2nd and 28 rather.
Ooh.
Long second down for Mayer, empty backfield again. Not scared to throw the ball, takes a step back and launches this ball across the middle of the field. Looking for Cedric Bird, wasn't able to bring it in. Would have been a big play for Cedric Bird if he was able to bring that one in. Unfortunately wasn't. Stops the clock at 5:18 in this third quarter as the Raiders trail 22-29.
And as you were saying, Meyer, he's not afraid to throw the ball. Right after he said that, he just launched a deep pass down the middle. It was just off the mark, just a little too far for his wide receiver to be able to catch the football.
Absolutely.
Mom, Mindy's here.
Ashford behind there with Mayer. Mayer steps it back. Steps away from a defender. Finds a receiver, number 11. That was Kyron Cannon.
Kyron Cannon is one of the speed wide receivers with only being 5'11", 170 pounds. He does not have too much weight on him, which just allows him to light up the field on the sideline.
Absolutely. Fourth and 10, forcing this Long Beach team to punt the ball again. TJ Newborn in the backfield, ready to take this one. We haven't seen much from TJ since the first half.
Wow,
Snap
another
way over the punter's head. He's going to try and get it off anyway. Is able to get it off after picking this lost snap up. And able to make a great punt out of it, punting it all the way down the field to the 14-yard line.
Wow, Miguel Rodriguez, that was great.
Miguel Rodriguez making something of nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Ball shot way over his head. Turned around, picked it up, wasn't sure if what he was going to do with it for a second, was able to boot it down the field for actually a really good punt.
It actually almost looked like if you saw college football last year, some of the big games, Michigan versus Michigan State, there was a muffed snap on the punt from Michigan. Michigan State blocked the punt and was able to score a touchdown to win the game.
Absolutely. Here we are again. Cato Brown, Isaiah Johnson behind him. Quick shot, Ryan Wilmore with the catch. He's got room, and he's tripped up by number 3. That was Justin Cawley for Long Beach, bringing Wilmore down. Again, I keep giving credit to him. You see, he keeps making catches, and they're going to keep sending the ball Wilmore's way. Number 83, Ryan Wilmore, back on the field again. This boy is making some room. Quick pass, fakes Isaiah Johnson. Quick pass over to Emmanuel Osachukwu for a first down. The E-man got going on that one.
That was a great reception by E-Man. That was also a great fake handoff from Cato Brown to Johnson, Isaiah Johnson, and he was actually able to escape a sack for that first down pass to the E-man.
Got a split formation this time. Cato by himself in the backfield. 3 at the top of the screen. Isaiah Johnson behind Wilmore at the bottom. Cato keeps it and takes off up the field. Designed quarterback run on that one. Small gain for Cato Brown.
So far this game, he has been showing why he is a dual threat quarterback. As I alluded to in the first half, for the season, he actually had about 129 yards rushing. So now, of course, he has more in this game.
Definitely added to that rushing list. Cato Brown looks for some direction to the sideline. Isaiah Johnson set up in the pistol behind him. Wide receivers from top to bottom, Emmanuel Osuchukwu, Corbin Covey. Handoff is fake to Isaiah Johnson, kept by Cato Brown again, not tricked by this Long Beach defense as they bring him down at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, as we saw in the first half, Cato Brown was able to have a lot of success off of the fake handoff, but right there, it looks like he should have used that quarterback option to be able to hand it off to Isaiah Johnson to be able to get some gain.
Brings up a
on that
3rd and
play.
9. Cato scrambling in the backfield, has to take off on his own, doesn't see anything. Makes a first down out of it as he fights his way 10 yards up the field, ducking and diving in between defenders.
Wow, and as they say for a basketball term, he basically broke that guy's ankles. Darnay Harris was trying to make the tackle, number 10 from the Vikings, and he basically shook him out of his shoes, I should say, for Cato Brown.
I wouldn't doubt if Cato could break your ankles in basketball either.
I bet you he could.
He's got the moves.
Definitely with that
About to
elusiveness.
take the snap, looks over for some direction again. Cato takes the snap, fake handoff to Isaiah. Breaks the tackle, shakes another one, as we were just giving him credit for breaking ankles.
Wow.
Finds his way moving up the field again as he breaks the tackle and almost jukes another one out of the way. Cato's got to be getting tired after all these running he's doing.
Yes, all this quarterback option. He's keeping the ball a lot of the time on the quarterback option. He's not handing it off to Isaiah Johnson because, of course, with the handoff formation that he is doing, you usually see the ball handed off to Isaiah Johnson. So he is having most of the runs tonight.
We see TJ Newborn make his way back on the field. Newborn in motion. Motion's behind Cato. Cato serves it to him from back there. No gain on the play. Nice little sweep on the backside of the play. Tried to see if it's a Newborn to give it up, take it up the field. No gain.
It looks like they had a good play drawn up because TJ Newborn was rolling out. Excuse me, he was in motion behind Cato. It looked like most of the defense was on the other side of the field, but they were still able to bring him down.
Quick movement by Long Beach on that play.
Yes, that was quick movement.
1:40 in this third quarter left. Moorpark still dragging 22 to Long Beach 29. Cato makes a pass upfield, nobody there. Looking for pass interference on Corbin Covey, he was looking for down the field, and we get it.
Yes,
Corbin
it looked like he was a little bit held up on that play, Corbin Covey I'm talking about.
Comes out frustrated, grabbing his jersey like someone was holding on to me. Help me.
Definitely, and the refs make the call, and it will be, at least we believe, yes, pass interference on the defense. This will be a big play because now going deeper into Viking territory, the Moorpark Raiders could possibly make a comeback.
Absolutely. 15-yard penalty on the play. As we alluded to, it was pass interference. Move these guys up in just about red zone almost. Again, another chance for this Raiders offense to put a touchdown on the board. Three wide receivers at the top of your screen. Run to Isaiah Johnson. We have a penalty on the play. Might be holding.
Looks like he didn't have too big of a hole, so he tried to create his own hole. That's Isaiah Johnson, number 23, the running back.
Yep, holding. That'll be against the Moorpark Raiders, bringing them back. Restart a first down. Now looking at first and 25.
Yes, and as we were talking about a little earlier on in the game, against El Camino, they had the lesser of basically all the penalties, and now they have more penalties in the second half than they did in the first half against Long Beach.
First and 20 we're looking at. Oh, no. Cato Brown, caught in the backfield, was able to get rid of this ball before he was brought all the way down. Could have been a loss.
That was a great
The
play.
Long Beach sideline, Ranton and Raven wanting a penalty on Cato Brown for intentional grounding. 83, Ryan Wilmore was in the area to save him from intentional grounding as Cato has released that ball late.
And that was Abadayo Soremakum, who was able to come in, the defensive lineman, 6'3", 277 pounds, to be able to put the pressure on Cato Brown.
Raiders in a bunched up formation, looking like they're trying to protect Cato a little more. Give Cato some room to throw. A pocket collapses on him though. It's number 42.
There's that man again.
Long Beach, big boy.
Soremakun does it again.
Soremakun, 6'3", 277. That's a big boy.
The past two plays, he has put the pressure on Cato Brown, and he has been able to bring him down on that last one for a sack.
Just under a minute left in this third quarter. See if they can put a score in before they take a quick breather between breaks and switch sides of the field. Cato takes a high snap. Over the defenders, get it to Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson breaking tackles, making some room. Works his way upfield to the 20-yard line. Great gain for Isaiah Johnson. That is a hard man to bring down.
And that's something we were talking about with Isaiah Johnson. With his frame, 208 pounds, he is not easily brought down, but also with that elusiveness, because he's not too large to be able to not have the juke moves. He was able to just juke out those defenders and not get brought down and be able to make it a very easy field goal kick by their kicker.
Moorpark trying to get this kickoff, looking at 4th and 5 before the end of the third, but the time's going to expire on them. They're going to go ahead and take a break and switch fields. We're going to take this moment as well to credit a couple of our sponsors for allowing us to have this tonight. A couple of our sponsors, including Wells Fargo. We'll go far together. Penny Mac. Great rates, great service, fast close. Simi Valley Buick, GMC. Dugout Sports Grill. Ventura County's favorite sports grill. And the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. And Latin Auto Group. Family owned and operated for over 45 years, always close to home.
Yes, and these sponsors are just great for us. They are able to allow us to do what we are doing tonight.
Absolutely. As the Raiders set up back on the field, they move opposite sides of the field. They will now have an opportunity at 4th and 5 to try and put a field goal in, shrinking the lead that the Long Beach City Vikings have put on them.
Yes, this has been a big lead. As you said, if they get this field goal kick, they will have 25 points and they'll only be down by 4. That is much more manageable than a 7-point deficit.
Absolutely. Something that's easier to work with. Now Gavin Todd sets up to kick this ball from about the 31, about a 42-yard field goal for Gavin Todd. Corvin Covey for the snap. Corvin Covey holds the ball. Bad hold on bad snap. Corvin Covey couldn't get it set up for Gavin Todd. and the Long Beach Vikings will take over on downs at their own 30-yard line.
Wow, that has just been a story for the game with all those muff snaps tonight. Another one. Wow.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, they're going to have to work on that and practice coming up this week, because that really is hurting them tonight. As much as they're helping themselves out on penalties, they're hurting themselves on snaps.
Yes, and especially with this one. This one was on a 4th down on a field goal kick. That could have brought them within 4 points.
Opportunity on points is something you can't pass.
Yes, you cannot pass that, especially when you're playing the 4th ranked team in the nation.
Set up in the nickel. Mayer shoots it over to the sidelines, finds a wide receiver. He's fighting for the ball with the defender. That was Mike Jones on the defense, fighting with him for the ball. We have a flag on the play. Let's see what the refs have to say on it.
Wow, that was a great play by the wide receiver, able to rise up there above the defensive back to be able to grab that one.
Yeah, he was able to get up there, bring it back down with Mike Jones and fight for it after they both got on the ground until he was knocked out. Penalty will be against Long Beach. Illegal wide receiver down the field, number 52, was caught down the field. Ineligible receiver. Sometimes got a little anxious and moved down the field too fast.
Yes, the offensive lineman, Sean Tilletti, he got a little too antsy, as you were saying.
Now moving back to the 25-yard line, looking at a 1st and 15. 14:40 left in the game. Mayer in the pistol.
Wow, another pass up the middle.
You know, Mayer is definitely not scared to throw the ball. He's very confident throwing right across the middle. I don't know if it's his game plan or if it's he sees something in the linebackers that we don't. Very confident throwing at these linebackers for Moorpark. 1st and 10, served up to Tyree Harris for a 1st down, it looks like. Are they going to give him the 1st down, or is he short a yard? He's short about 3 yards.
It's just a little short, but that was a great run.
2nd and 2, they hurry up and get this offense back on the field. They give it back to Harris again to get that 1st down as he makes a push for 4 yards.
Well, Tyree Harris being 5'11", 200 pounds, he has some size on him, but he was just able to show that every ounce of his size he was able to put in there to be able to truck those defenders to be able to get that 1st down.
Very bowling ball-like. Once he got that momentum going and he got through the field, it looked like he was just kind of rolling the last couple of yards.
Almost like Jerome Bettis, the bus.
There you go. Very bus-like. Mayer in the pistol. Serves Harris again. Harris breaking some tackles.
Wow.
Gets around a defender. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. Dragged out of bounds right at the 10-yard line. Great run by Harris that time. You feed him enough times, and he's going to break through some tackles eventually.
Wow, and that's 3 straight runs. They were able to get a big gain, a 1st down, and now a huge 1st down.
Absolutely. Bobby Herrera able to stop him on that before he made a touchdown. Let's see if these Moorpark Raiders can stop a touchdown from going in or even a field goal. They're backed up into their own end zone. Long Beach looking to score. Mayer keeps it himself. Shut down right before he gets there. Flag on the play. I'm assuming it's going to be roughing the passer because Mayer tried to go down and was hit a little bit after the play. Maybe roughing on the passer.
That was a smart play by Mayer. He was trying to go down because with that hesitation, he didn't have any more space. He did not have any holes in front of him.
Absolutely.
That was actually not a good way to be able to have that 1st possession in the red zone in this quarter for the Vikings. That was a holding penalty.
Absolutely. Very lucked out on that one. Mayer looks to make an adjustment, looking over to the sidelines for direction. Comes back into the play. make a strike to number 11. That is Kyron Cannon, almost getting in the end zone. Took a couple players to bring him down on that one.
And Cannon, as you said, it took a couple players to bring him down. He is not the biggest guy, but he was able to show that he can slip out of any tackle. He's almost like an oiled up pig out there.
Yeah, luckily our very own Marcus Johnson was able to make that stop. And Harris with the handoff, shoving him into the end zone. That is another touchdown for Long Beach City Vikings, extending their lead to 35. 12 minutes left in this game. Vikings now making a stretch on the lead, 35-22 over the Moorpark Raiders.
And as you mentioned, great play by Tyree Harris. In that drive alone, he had 4 big carries.
Definitely put a team on his back during that drive.
Yes, he did.
Sergio Garcia with the kick, and it's up and it's good. The Vikings now lead the Raiders 36-22 with 12 minutes left in this half. Excuse me, the rest of the game. Only 12 minutes. Cato Brown and his boys have to figure out how to put some points up fast if they want to come out of here with a win tonight.
Yes, and they know that they can put up points because, as we mentioned, in the first half, they had the lead through the whole first half until the final minutes when the Vikings were able to score again and tie up the score. So they know that they could score on this Vikings defense. They just have to be able to come together, calm down, and be able to make a good push towards the red zone and eventually getting in the end zone.
Yes, sir. Now they just got to put it together. We got TJ Newborn, DJ Farmer, TJ and DJ in the backfield ready to take this one up.
And don't be surprised if you see a big kickoff return because, as we've seen DJ Farmer throughout this game, he has just been great. He has been able to get the ball past the 30-yard line on both of his kickoff returns. And TJ Newborn, we all know from previous games, he is also great at fielding these kicks, especially punt returns. He had one last week for a touchdown.
And the kick is off. Short little squib kick, tossed back to Farmer. Farmer makes a jump over a player, making it up to about the 35-yard line.
Wow, and he hurdled a player on that kickoff return.
Showing his athleticism on that one.
Yeah, speaking about showing his athleticism, on the roster he's listed as an athlete. No position, just an athlete.
Just an athlete. It's a couple years ago they had the Jaguars had listed Denard Robinson as OW, an offensive weapon. That's essentially what Farmer does for us.
Yes, we could use him in any side of the field, even special teams.
Here we go again. Cato Brown directing traffic. Set up in the pistol with Isaiah Johnson to his left. Hands the ball off to, it was a fake handoff to Isaiah Johnson, kept it and wasn't able to get much up the field. Number 13, Cato Brown.
There Cato goes again. He tricked out both of us. I thought it was a handoff as well.
Absolutely, he's been good at that tonight.
Yes, he has. That is a good trait for a quarterback to have, especially a dual threat quarterback when he is able to run the ball.
Absolutely. Here we are, getting this set up, bunched up formation. Keeps the ball again. Oh, and a penalty on the play.
It looks like the emotions came out.
Emotions got to everybody on that one. Manu to Anisi for the Long Beach Vikings, getting a little frisky on that one, shoving at the end of the play. Going to get a penalty against the Long Beach on that one. Did it right in front of a ref. I don't know what he was thinking. He was sneaky or what happened, but he's being pulled off the field right now. No, not being kicked off, just pulled off the field by his own coaches.
Coaches won't be too happy about that after you make one of those plays with a team that they know can score on them is trying to make a comeback, and then you do that for a penalty. Coach not going to be too happy.
Absolutely. See if they can make something out of the penalty they just received. They'll be moving 15 yards up the field, getting the ball on the 49-yard line, just about midfield for these Vikings, or excuse me, for this Raiders team to take over.
And being in Viking territory, that is just a huge confidence booster. That has not been happening too much in this second half. So whenever you could get enough yards to be able to get in the other team's territory, that just is a huge confidence booster. So don't be too surprised if you see a momentum change coming soon.
And the Raiders need a momentum change at some point if they want to turn this game around and come out of here with a W tonight.
Yes,
I definitely
they do.
think it's possible after seeing how well they played in the first half of tonight. Just over 11 minutes to go in the game. Cato takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, grabbed in the face.
Wow.
We should see another penalty as number 7 from Long Beach. That was Marcus Reynolds, really in there quick, but wasn't able to get a good grab on Cato as he grabbed his face and brought him down. We'll see a face mask, most likely a personal foul against Long Beach on this play.
Yes, not a good play by the defense. Back-to-back penalties, not good, especially when you're trying to keep all the momentum that you can.
Cato Brown trying to adjust his helmet as it was nearly ripped off. 15-yard penalty added to the play. Sometimes it's hard to get upset at the defense. Fortunately, Cato Brown is very sneaky, and he probably snuck out and kind of forced the face mask himself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sometimes with those dual threat quarterbacks, you have no choice but to grab their face mask if you want to bring them down.
You got to grab anything you can, or it could turn around into a touchdown for you. Cato Brown moves up the field, steps back, almost falls down on the play as he's taken down, able to almost get it off really quick. Isaiah Johnson in the neighborhood. Incomplete pass, better than having a loss of a play on that one.
Seems like Marcus Reynolds is really pumped up from the Vikings. He was actually the one that had the face mask penalty in 2 plays ago, and the last play he just had that big pressure put on Cato Brown, almost getting a sack before he was able to throw to Isaiah Johnson.
2 wide receivers spread out at top. Emmanuel Osuchukwu on the bottom. Nice snap to Cato. Get to the outside. Great catch. That was Cade Schmidt. We haven't seen him since earlier when he made that huge first down. Schmidt making a little gain on the play, saying, don't forget about me. I play for this team too. Third and 11, making a little yardage up the field. Long third down. Cato Brown looks to convert.
It looks like Cato Brown is also taking a page out of Jake Meyer's book by checking down all his wide receivers, getting some less known wide receivers into the game.
Absolutely. We got wide receivers bunched up in 3 at the bottom. Single Ryan Wilmore at the top. Cato's pocket collapses on him. He's unable to get the ball off or even look for a wide receiver on that play. Showing some frustration. Cato Brown gives up another drive as we look at 4th and 11. Evan Benson coming out to kick the ball away.
Yes, and there should probably be some frustration on the quarterback's part. Cato Brown, he has had so much pressure coming at him in the past few drives, and they have not been able to score. They gave up the lead after the first half, so there is going to be some frustration as we also see some of the offensive linemen are frustrated as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mayer taking over on downs again shortly. Evan Benson back to kick. And a wobbly kick down the field. Gonna let it bounce into the 5-yard line.
Wow, great punt by the Raiders.
Great punt, great coverage.
That was almost a Johnny Hecker-esque punt, the punter for the Los Angeles Rams when they were the St. Louis Rams. He was the top punter in the league for about the past 5 seasons, and he's doing just the same out here in this season as the first season in LA, and we just saw with the punter from Moorpark, putting it inside the 5-yard line. Most punters cannot do that.
All right, as Mayer takes over from his own end zone. Raiders need a big stop here.
Wow, and a big gain.
Big gain. Jason Floyd taking off down the field. About a 40-yard gain. Is shoved out of bounds. That was Hayden Galvin with a stop, freshman out of Oaks Christian. Sidelines for Long Beach, a little upset after that one, wanting a penalty for a hit out of bounds.
Yes, that was an interesting play. The
Nope.
running back was able to get a big gain, but then our guy, Hayden Galvin, number 17 of the Raiders, tackled him out of bounds, but no call.
No call on the play. Long Beach will take over on own 42, working their way down the field.
It looks like the Raiders, they're showing a blitz almost. All their players are at the line of scrimmage.
Again with the carry. Jason Floyd working his way up the field. Looks like he might have a first down. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Jason Floyd with some big runs right now. Of course, the last possession they had Tyree Harris, number 8, with the big gains, but now Floyd is coming out here.
It doesn't look like they have a feature block. Ball way over Mayer's head. Mayer just dives on the ball to take a loss for about 8. Snap was way over his head, had to chase it down instead of trying to make something out of it. Figured the safest thing was to do was to jump on the ball and end the play right there.
Well, we have not seen that too many times out of the Vikings tonight. It's basically been a Raider problem tonight, but now the Vikings, it seems like they're getting a little antsy right now.
Absolutely. Mayer set to take this ball, 3rd and 16, 7:20 left in this game, leading by 14. Mayer throws this ball as he's hit, and it's blocked and knocked out of Mike Jones on the coverage. Was able to knock the ball out of the hands of Jalen Watson before he was able to make a catch. Mayer was hit when he was throwing the ball away. 4th and 16 now. Big time for the Raiders to start putting points on the board before this clock runs down on them.
And as you said, Mayer was pressured on that play. It almost looked like the whole entire defense was running at him from the Raiders. They were just showing so much pressure, able to get past that offensive line into the quarterback, and Mayer had to back up, and he was actually on his back foot when he threw that pass.
Absolutely. Not a position you want to be in when you're letting go of the ball. TJ Newborn in the backfield ready to return. Looks like he's going to take this one. The ball bounced and defender accidentally touched it. A lot of excitement on the field.
Yes, there is a lot of excitement on the field. It looks like some of the Vikings, including number 30, Carlos Peterson, were all cheering about a big block that they had.
Here we go. Raiders getting ready to take over at the 30-yard line. They got a chance right now to try and make it downfield, make this a 7-point game. Just 7:04 left in the game. Raiders trailing 22-36. Kata Brown takes over.
They need to do something quick right now.
Two wide receivers on each side. Isaiah Johnson taking the ball up the field. Takes a big hit from number 24. That was Guy Alford, defensive back for Long Beach. Really gave it to Isaiah Johnson. You don't see Johnson get hit like that very often.
Wow, and he was definitely the guy on that tackle. Number 24, Guy Alford. Wow.
We have an injured Raider walking off the field, number 77, Corey Price, our offensive lineman out of Calabasas, limping his way off the field. Hopefully he's not too injured.
It looks like he just got a little roughed up on that play. With that big run from Isaiah Johnson, they're trying to start a good drive.
There we go, Isaiah Johnson moving up the field, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, spins out and makes a big run for Isaiah Johnson. He is hyped up after that run.
Yes, he's definitely hyped up, and he's hyping up this crowd.
About a 20-yard gain as Isaiah Johnson flew up the field, breaking tackles left and right.
It seemed like Isaiah Johnson wanted to make a point as well. After being brought down with a big hit, he's trying to show that he cannot be brought down that easily anymore.
Stacked wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. And his bubble screen over to Emmanuel Osachukwu. Osachukwu's got room, 10-5, touchdown Emmanuel Osachukwu. E-Man with the touchdown for the Raiders. Yes, squeaking the lead. Now Raiders only trailing 28-36 as we look for a field goal from Gavin Todd. What do you think about the E-Man on that one? Whew.
The E-Man showed why he has the nickname of the E-Man. E-Man basically stands for, basically a super athlete, a super freak out there, a Superman. He is E-Man, and he showed with that broken tackle around the 20-yard line, tiptoeing down the end zone to the touchdown. He's 6'3", big target out there for Cato Brown.
Absolutely. I told you earlier today we'll see a lot of things out of E-Man, and E-Man is providing us. Raiders only trailing by 7, 29-36. Vikings lead. 6:13 left in the game.
It seems like the Vikings could possibly be kicking themselves for those 2 penalties that were called, because they had the face mask and they also had the unsportsmanlike conduct called against them. We're actually going to try to contact our field reporter, Emery Johnson. He has been able to get a lot of good information. There was actually an injury on the last the last drive for the Raiders, so we are going to try to contact them.
Check on Corey Price. We're going to go down here in just a moment to Emery Johnson, our sideline reporter for tonight.
Yes,
Emery was right there on that last play, right in front of E-Man. We'll see what he has to say.
Yes, we just saw that E-Man had a big touchdown reception. What can you tell us about that, and what can you tell us about our offensive lineman that went down with the injury?
Well, let's get down to the previous play. Actually, right before there, that was set up by the run play by Isaiah Johnson. The defense for Long Beach City College has been playing in cover 2 a lot, and they've been loading a lot of players up into the box and playing with a blitz. So what happened was Isaiah Johnson set up that play by running through the inside and finding a hole and getting down to the check down at the 35. Luckily for them, that opened up the defense and got them loading the box up once again for another play, and they had the bubble screen on the outside to Emmanuel Osachukwu. What a great call by the Raiders coaching staff right there, just to recognize the fact that there was a complete hole in the defense on that play.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looked like E-Man got some room right there, and that's all he needed is just an inch or two to get all the way down the field.
Yeah, he had a close pursuit by number 6 there, the corner. I don't have his name on my chart right here, but there was, once he got open space, he was free and easy down the field, and he beat the safety on that play, like I said, in cover 2, with the safeties playing inside the box. So what a great play by Emmanuel, and what a great play by Isaiah Johnson to set that up.
Awesome.
Definitely was a great play, and thank you very much, Emery Johnson, for that little insight that we have from down on the field.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, guys.
We'll see you at the end of the game, Emery. All right, and that's Emery Johnson. While we were away from the game, we had a return for Long Beach. Great return from the return man. Moved it up about 30 yards, taking it out of bounds.
What's up, man? How
Long
you doing?
Beach, now it's 2nd and 2, starting from their own 40-yard line. Mayer hands the ball off right away. We have a lot of room right off the bat. Jason Floyd back at it again. Jason Floyd, we expected maybe to see a switch back to Tyree Harris, but no. We got Jason Floyd again. Now we see Tyree Harris work his way onto the field for the Long Beach Vikings, trying to work this run game as much as they can.
Yes, Tyree Harris has been great out there alongside Jason Floyd. Just a big running offense.
With just 5 minutes to go in the game, the Raiders need to make a stop if they want to try and have a chance to tie this game. Mayer clapping to get the snap. Keeps the ball himself. Jordan Flack on the spy was able to keep a hold of him, keep his gain from getting too much out of hands. Just a small 3-yard gain.
Yeah, and Jordan Flack, the star defensive end for the Moorpark Raiders. It looked like he was going to be shooken out of his shoes, but he was able to stay with the quarterback and bring Mayer down for a short yard gain. Looks like there is an injury on the field as well for the Moorpark Raiders.
And the Raiders have a man down on the field.
While they attend to the player on the field, we'd like to remind everybody that to please come on down to Custom Pie for Raider.
This is definitely never a good sign, especially if you are a Moorpark Raiders fan. You do not want to see it if you're a Long Beach fan, but especially the Moorpark Raiders with Jordan Flack, number 43, the star defensive end.
Might have been small cramp. Jordan Flack, strong, tough man, works his way down the field. He's going to take a play or two off on this one, see the athletic trainer before he returns to the field.
Definitely a smart decision. It looks like that could have possibly been a hyperextended knee because when he was chasing the quarterback, he had to try to stop on a dime, and his momentum was still carrying him towards the sideline.
There we go. Now we're back again, 2nd and 6. Mayer taking over. The Moorpark sideline getting a little louder as we're getting late. Oh, caught it from the back. Number 8, Tyree Harris with the carry moving up the field for a first down, almost tackled from behind.
Seems like they're trying to strip the ball away from him.
Yeah, at this point you need to try and get the ball away instead of trying to stop him after a first down.
Yes, and that clock continues to run after that.
Long Beach moves themselves right into the red zone. 3:54 left in this game, first down. Vikings looking to burn the clock out as much as they can and get a chance to score again. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Again to Tyree Harris as he goes through the middle, breaking defenders left and right. They can't bring him down at the 10-yard line. Finally whistles on the game. And Harris still fighting for it.
Wow.
Didn't even get taken down once.
This man cannot be taken down, 5'11", 200 pounds, just all muscle, able to break off all those tackles and stay up for a big gain.
It's not looking pretty for these Raiders right now as they're getting in. They're now into field goal range and a touchdown down.
Yes, and they're in the red zone once again. That's the Vikings.
Looks like we may have a timeout on the field. A pause in the game. A towel was left on the field. The refs paused it for a moment. The clock continues.
Jake Meyer, it seems like the Moorpark Raider sideline is getting in his head because that play clock is going down to 5 seconds almost every play now.
They're giving an extra 10 seconds on the play clock as it was reset to 24 from 14.
Here it goes down to about 5 again.
Again, Harris with the carry, breaking himself into the 5-yard line.
It seems like he's just a man amongst boys out there, it almost looks like, with those gains he's getting.
Just under 3 minutes to go. The Raiders still have 3 timeouts. Looks like they might be saving them for an occasion they might have coming up.
Yeah, especially if they are able to get the ball back with enough time. 3 timeouts, that could be used for good.
It is football. Anything can happen.
Yes, it can. They need to stop right here, though.
Raiders able to make a stop this time with no gain. Marcus Johnson on the stop, number 8. Outside linebacker was able to get in there. Moorpark's going to burn one of their timeouts now. 2nd and 1.
Yes, and being in the red zone, that was a good timeout call with only 2 minutes, 8 seconds left. They need as much time left on the clock when they get the ball back.
Absolutely.
And with being down by 7 points, they need to stop them right here. It's going to be very difficult for the Raiders because since the Vikings are in the red zone, they are in major field goal territory. So if they are able to stop them from getting a touchdown, the Raiders that is, the Vikings will have to kick a field goal. And, of course, with being in the red zone, it's just basically easy money for the kicker.
Absolutely. As these teams take their time to get ready, the Raiders are going to need to make a big stop right here.
What do you think? 3rd down and 1?
3rd and 1.
There's going to have to be a big stop.
Big stop. Expect Jordan Flack back on the field. Expect James Perriman to make his way in there. Expect Marcus Johnson to be shoving himself into some gaps.
That's exactly, and we've seen all 3 of those players excel tonight and on the other games this season.
Absolutely. They got to give credit. Mike Jones has been very active as a freshman defensive back for the Raiders. With ease, Tyrone.
Wow, another touchdown.
Harris walked himself right into the end zone on that one. It looked like there was a little confusion on the backfield, or understanding of the backfield on the Raiders that time, and Tyrone Harris runs himself right into the end zone, almost untouched.
Yeah, and Tyree Harris, that's actually, I believe, his 2nd touchdown.
Vikings now lead 42-29. 2 minutes left in the game. Bringing this back to another 2-score lead. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Yes, PAT attempt good, and now
making that a 43-29 lead for the Long Beach City College Vikings.
Wow, big lead for the Vikings.
Well, Ryan, they had their chance. They had the chance to shut this team down early. They let this Vikings team crawl their way back into it. There's 2 minutes left. Like I said, anything can happen in football. If they are going to make this happen, they're going to have to score quick and score fast.
Definitely what you'll want to see out here from the Raiders. You need a big kickoff return. If you could get a touchdown on the kickoff return, of course, that would be the best option. But, of course, that's kind of, far out of reach. But what they need is they need a big kickoff return, and they need to score, like you said, score as quick as possible, get as close to the 2-minute marker as possible. With only 2 minutes, 4 seconds left, they need to do it within 1 minute, with 1 minute 40 left on the clock if they want to be able to have a chance with only 2 timeouts.
Again, TJ and DJ, both in the backfield waiting to return this kick. Either one of these has the capability to take this all the way back. Something they do need right now.
Don't be surprised if you see a squib kick.
And it's exactly what you called it, a squib kick. Forced DJ Farmer to pick this ball up late, and he's muffed the ball. Tried to pick it up, wasn't able to get a hold of it. We'll see after we clear out the pile who's been able to maintain possession.
It seemed like there was a fumble.
Long Beach is pointing the way that they have possession. Farmer comes up with the ball. Raiders maintain possession at the 15-yard line.
Wow, that almost was thrown away, the game, after the fumble there, because if that was a fumble, if the Vikings were able to recover that fumble, then that would have basically just ended the game. Good job by DJ Farmer to at least land back on it, to be able to have the possibility of marching down the field now. Of course, with only 2 timeouts in the game, down by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, they're going to need a miracle.
Almost near the back of their end zone. Corvin Covey in motion. Small pass to Isaiah Johnson as he spins off a tackle for about a gain of a yard. Not much on that play. They need to get down the field. Cato Brown's going to have to start throwing the ball down the field.
Yes, he is. He's going to have to let it fly, and with that pass completion, since it stayed in bounds, the clock is still running now.
1:34 left in this game. It's not looking pretty for the Raiders right now. Cato Brown, handoff to Isaiah Johnson. The way the heads were hanging on the way off the field off that last touchdown, doesn't look like there's much motivation for these Raiders to try and turn this around right now. Minute left and we're seeing runs from the Raiders offense. We can expect this game's almost over.
Yes, and as you said, 1 minute left, running the football with only 2 timeouts, down by 2 touchdowns. It almost seems like they're not going for it.
Hill Sanders, our tight end, is on the sidelines with his helmet off. I don't think we're planning on making any big comebacks tonight. Cato Brown looks to pass, takes it upfield for himself.
He is able to get the first down, though, so the clock does stop, which is a good thing for the Raiders. Of course, the comeback is almost over, but at least the clock does stop. They still have 2 timeouts. Now the clock is still running.
Cato Brown takes a snap, making his way to the sidelines. Throws the ball down, looking for Emmanuel Osachukwu. Wasn't able to keep it in bounds. Stop the clock at 31-5. Raiders trailing by 14.
That would have been a big pass play to the E-man. That would have gotten them into Viking territory, but of course only 31.5 seconds left, as you alluded to. It's basically over now.
Long Beach showing excitement on the field already as if they won. It's hard to argue with them. Only 30 seconds left, up 2 scores. Raiders will receive a 15-yard penalty, moving the ball up the field for a personal foul on defense, moving the Raiders up to the 42-yard line.
That is good. Right now, I believe for the Raiders, they are just trying to basically test out their players, be able to see what they could do in a losing atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Seeing how they handle it.
Can't let the players give up. Cato Brown steps up, makes a pass over the middle. That's Corbin Covey for the catch for a first down, crossing the 50-yard line into Vikings territory.
And as you mentioned, never giving up. Goes right here, gets a big pass play for a first down.
Able to stop the clock for a moment. The clock back on right now. Cato Brown looking to snap the ball again as they move up the field pretty quickly. Less than 20 seconds left. Cato takes a snap, keeps the ball, throws it. Corbin Covey for the catch. I think the ball hit the ground before it got to him. Incomplete pass. Stops the clock at 10 seconds and 0.2 of a second.
Wow, and almost a great comeback by the Raiders. They were able to get within 7 points before the Vikings scored their last touchdown of the game.
Now for the Raiders, they were able to put up a lot of points as we talked about in the first half. They weren't able to hold on to the lead, unfortunately. I don't know if they were playing to play save the score, or, you know. They just fell apart toward the end of this game. Corbin Covey with the catch again, another first down for Corbin Covey.
Seems like padding the stats a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I have to say it's a lot of padding of the stats. Corbin Covey, this is what we'd have to call garbage time.
Seems like they're trying to at least get one more play, and they do.
One more playoff. Oh, unfortunately not able to bring the touchdown in. That will conclude our game. The Raiders will go down to the Long Beach City Vikings 29-43. Long Beach leaving this game tonight 2-1. Raiders leaving this game tonight 1-2. Tonight was a good battle, a testament of battle between both teams. Showed a lot of good things, a lot of bad things.
There's a lot to learn from this game, of course, against a quality opponent. The Raiders are actually in the top 100 in the nation, and Long Beach Vikings, they are
in the top 10.
4. Yes.
Absolutely. Again, send a special thanks out to everybody, all of our sponsors we mentioned earlier. A special thanks to our production crew, production supervisor Michael Grimes, our technical director Kimberly Gonzalez, our main technician TN, camera operators Sinclair Rainey, Ilse Bianchi, and Clifford Barrow. For Ryan Ketchum, I'm Nathan Espinosa. We'll see you guys next week on the away game. Catch the end of the post-game locker room show coming up next.
Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Welcome to the Raiders' Fifth Room Locker Report, presented by Custom Pie, serving up delicious wood-baked pizzas. I'm Nathan Espinosa, your color play-by-play, alongside Ryan Ketchum, color analyst, and our sideline reporter, Emery Johnson. Emery, I'm going to start with you today. You were down there next to the field the whole night. What'd you see on that field?
Okay, never mind.
You know, I saw a lot of heart, blood, sweat, and tears. You know, it was a very, very good job by the Raiders in all facets of the game to compete with ranked 4th in the nation, Long Beach City College.
Yes.
What was the most evident in my mind was the fact that Long Beach had so much depth. Even if you look right now down on the field, you can tell that Long Beach had a lot of players traveling with them. And it's a very big, physical, strong team. And the amount of rotations that they could bring in at running back, you saw at the very end of the game, it seemed like their running back had just started playing. They were able to rotate so well with all their players. It was very difficult for the Raiders defense to keep up, especially a battered Raiders defense at that. You know, players are getting tired and they're playing a lot during the game. This is a very high-scoring game tonight, actually.
Absolutely.
If you can say one thing, the Raiders defense really did wake up against a excellent top-tier defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I would say from the sidelines was the most apparent thing.
Definitely agreed on the high scoring. If you were to give me an over-under before the game of 50, I wouldn't assume that we were ringing up the score of 50 or 50 points between both teams. So I agree with the high scoring. I did like that. One thing I was hoping to see out of the Raiders a little more was what I alluded to in the beginning was just resilience, you know, seeing them fight. It seemed like toward that fourth quarter, after they fell down 2 with about 7 minutes to go, a lot of deflation on that Raiders sidelines. The Raiders really played with a lot of emotion tonight. When we were up, they were up. When they were down, they were down. Kind of a testament of time to see how it lasts, but, you know, a lot of good things we saw out of tonight. We reduced penalties, I've noticed a lot. Sadly, we increased a lot of the muffs of the passing. Ryan?
Yeah, speaking about the muff snaps, it was just an overly high amount of muff snaps tonight.
Absolutely.
It seems like in the last game, Cato Brown was able to have a good connection with his center, but in this game tonight, it was just almost like he couldn't have a good connection with his center. It was just going straight over his head, or it was bumping into his face mask. I know we saw tonight it was bumping into his face mask a lot.
Absolutely.
And then we saw at the end of the game, actually the Vikings, Long Beach City College, they actually had a muff punt as well. I was wondering if it was partly the crowd, because that's when the Raiders were trying to make their comeback.
Absolutely. The crowd did get a little riled up toward the end right there, which may have caused that. One thing I noticed with Mayer, the quarterback for Long Beach, he had a lot of time in the pocket, which allowed for him why he has 700 yards coming into this game throwing. We saw he wasn't scared to throw across the middle of the field tonight. Had a lot of big plays from the running backs and wide receivers. Again, got to reiterate, we see why they're one of the top teams in the nation right now.
Yeah, it was ultimately the fact was that the Raiders were very battered offensive line-wise. We haven't seen a consistent starting offensive line for the Raiders this year. And so what has actually ended up happening is that the Raiders end up putting a defensive player in the spot of a offensive lineman. And so this entire shift that they have been organizing has now started to deteriorate the defensive line that they had originally at which is still functioning at a very high level, surprisingly. But I completely agree with you. It's the fact that Long Beach was not afraid to put their quarterback in the pocket and let him sit there and fire over the center and wait for his receivers to do work. Despite the Raiders being able to have close coverage, they were able just to slowly pick it away. The Raiders playing a lot in cover 2, cover 3 type formations, just making sure that the wide receivers weren't able to get really good looks. But you notice it would fall apart every once in a while because the fact was they were just going to continue to hit the passes over the center time after time after time. Now, on the flip side, the Raiders offense had a very good time adjusting. I think it was every other series. You'd see one bad series and then you'd see one good series because Long Beach wasn't doing a very good job of being consistent on their defense. It still allowed us to put up 29 points. It held us to 29 points, but we were able to work with screens and work around the blitz that was very strong for a very large-sized Long Beach defensive line. I mean, the average size was 6'5", 250 pounds. These guys are Division I level sized players.
Absolutely.
And, we went toe-to-toe with them, which I think is the ultimate testament to the coaching staff putting a great team out on the field.
Absolutely. One name we couldn't get out of either of our mouths during the call was Isaiah Johnson. We have our future back. You saw that man breaking tackles all over the field tonight. Give me something from Isaiah that you're happy to see tonight.
Definitely with Isaiah, of course, he had the injury, and now he is coming back. Nothing is against him now.
No.
The injury is all over. His mental capacity is back. Of course, personally, I have also suffered a very big injury, and after you have a very big injury, your mindset, it just goes completely out of whack. You are seeing all of the players that used to be below you starting. You basically just go down. And then now Isaiah Johnson coming back, he has had none of that, it seemed like. No. He has just been breaking through every tackle. He has just been busting through every hole. 6 feet, 208 pounds. He's hard to break. He's hard to bring down. And we saw here tonight why he is that future back for the Moorpark Raiders.
Very violent running style from Isaiah Johnson, as you saw him break tackles tonight. Looking forward, though, these Raiders, we saw a lot of good things out of them. Cato Brown seemed a little more comfortable in the pocket tonight, directing his team around. We saw a lot of a couple wide receivers we didn't see last week. the Emmanuel Osachukwu was very active tonight, as well as Corbin Covey. A lot of positives came from tonight, even though we have a loss. The Raiders taking a loss tonight. Now we'll be leaving the stadium 1-2, Griffin Stadium, not showing any love to the Raiders in their first 2 home games.
Long Beach did what they came here to do, which
Absolutely.
was win. But aside from that, we're now looking forward to next week, which we won't be here. We'll be down at Palomar, which was a turning point in the season for the Raiders last year, when, in fact, we went essentially 0-3. And it didn't happen until the 4th game of the season when we played against Palomar, and then we finally brought it back, and we crushed them. So hopefully the Raiders and Mike Stewart can go into the locker room, go into the study room, and really check out this film and see what they can do against Palomar, who isn't necessarily the strongest side, at least in junior college. If we're looking at our matchup terms, we should be able to come out stronger next week and get back to even terms.
Absolutely. Well, again, hopefully we can see positives moving into next week for these Raiders. For Emery Johnson, for Ryan Ketchum, I'm Nathan Espinosa. Can't wait to see you again next week.